sure you must be exaggerating a little, Mrs. Palmer. No, I'm certainly not calling you a liar, but, well, they can't possibly be singing Rock of Ages all night. And all day. Well, as I said, I sent Constable Pook round to sort it out when you phoned about it the last time, and... Oh, was he? Joining in. Yes, of course, he's a very strong baritone, yes, very strong. Right, well, all right, Mrs. Palmer, I'll tell you what. Although it isn't strictly speaking CID business, I'll drop round there myself the first chance I get. No, I can't say when that'll be, no. Yes, I can hear them. Yes, I am lucky I don't live next door to the mission. Well, first chance I get, I promise you. I'd better go now, Mrs. Palmer, I'm wanted. Well, it might be more important. No, I don't suppose it'll be a murder. That's not all that regular a thing in Flaxborough, but...
Sorry to bother you, Inspector.
Yes, I will. Promise. First chance. Goodbye now. God save us. Mrs. Palmer.
Not the one who keeps phoning about the mission in Northgate.
The very same. I don't know what she's worrying about gospel singers for. She can drown them out with her ordinary conversation. Certainly doesn't need to use the phone. What's up, Sid?
Mr. Spain's here. He's asking to see you, Governor.
What, Arthur Spain, the butcher?
That's him.
Wonder what he wants.
Dunno. Won't tell me nothing. Says I look too young to be a policeman, let alone a detective.
It's your boyish complexion, Sid.
Yeah, cantankerous old beggar. I can see you're busy. Want me to get rid of him?
No, he's not one to bother us, if he hasn't a reason. Show him in.
This way, Mr. Spain. This is Inspector Purbright.
I know that, don't I? Do I look daft or something?
No, but...
Well, then. Known Inspector Purbright since ever he come to Flaxborough, besides any road.
Oh, sorry.
Morning, Mr. Spain.
Yeah.
Want me to take notes, Governor?
No, I bloody don't.
No, that'll be all right, Sid. I'll give you a shout if you're needed.
Yes. Right.
Now then, Mr. Spain, what can I do for you?
It's our Lillian.
Lillian?
You knew the wife's brother, Jack?
Oh, yes, sad to hear. About a year back, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's his widow, Mrs. Bannister. Our Lillian. It's her.
Is it? What's the matter with her?
She's sold her house.
You mean she's moved?
No. I don't know. She's disappeared. I said to the missus, I've not seen our Lillian lately.
Yes?
Well, no more had she. So I asked about a bit. Customers, you know, them as knows her. And they hadn't seen her neither, so I goes round there to her house.
She lives in Cadwell Close, doesn't she? Or she did when her husband was alive.
Well, that's the point. She did, but she don't no more. Never a word. I goes round there and I rung the bell. No answer. I goes round the back, and there's this row of milk bottles not taken in. Must have been over a week's worth. Going green, some of them.
I see.
Well, I was a bit worried about that.
You would be.
So I comes back round the side of the house thinking she might have been taken ill or something, and nobody knowing. And there's this woman, large as life.
Ah, and what woman was that?
This woman what I'm telling you about, aren't I? What's standing in the path there, looking up at the house. There's nobody in, she says. No, there isn't, I says. I've called several times, she says, sounding a bit put out. What for, I says. Well, to get in, she says to me like I were barmy. It's mine, or it will be on the 25th. I've bought it, me and my husband. Well, dumbfounded.
You must have been.
I mean, there's some of our money in that house, the wife's and mine. So I goes to see that Mr. Scorp.
He's a solicitor.
That's right. Miserable old fart as a rule, but he seemed quite pleased to see me. Thought I were calling on her behalf, 'cause there's still quite a lot to be cleared up about this sale, he says. Expect he only meant his bill.
Oh.
But anyway, he's not seen her neither. No idea where she is. I tells him about the milk and that nobody's seen her and that. And then he looks right worried too. Comes over all confidential. There's one point about this sale, he says, which I think, in the circumstances, I ought to mention, he says. It seems that when the contract was signed, he made an advance to our Lillian, Seems she asked for it, about £400. It's sometimes done, you know, he said, provided we have confidence in the parties concerned. And in this case there was no mortgage. Well, that's not quite true, I says, and I sees him go white. So I tells him as how when Jack died, we lent her enough to pay off what was owing the building society. That set his hands shaking, I can tell you.
I bet it did.
But you see, our Lillian's not one to dodge a debt. If she'd had £400 in her hand, she'd have been round to pay us what she owes that same morning.
I don't like the sound of those milk bottles.
That's what Mr. Scope said. And that's why I've come to you. That's why I didn't want to say nothing to that lad of yours.
You can't think of anyone she might have gone to stay with for a few days?
I can't. No more can the wife.
How old would she be now? 45-ish?
42. No, I tell a lie. 43 last birthday.
I'll be honest, I can't really put a face to her. What would you say she was like, you know? Good-looking? Attractive?
I'd not call her a beauty exactly. No, not a beauty. Quite nice, though. Quiet, but quite nice.
You don't think Mrs. Bannister had any intention of marrying again?
Oh, no.
She hasn't a special friend who was, who might have... Anybody close who might have expected to...
What?
No. That money now, Mr. Spain. You don't suppose she might have simply taken it into her head to go off on holiday? Something a bit extravagant, perhaps?
I had wondered, actually. But Lillian's always been so methodical. It's that business of the milk I can't get over. And I'm sure she would have let next door know.
You've asked them?
Sort of. Just casual, you know. Didn't want to set anything off. Don't want every busy beggar knowing your business, do you?
No, of course not. How was she fixed? Financially, I mean.
Comfortable. And them houses are worth a bob or two these days.
Oh, they are that.
Hey, Hope. Is your clock right?
Well, you know what they say about policemen, if you want to know the time.
No, it's time I was up at the abattoir.
Ah, well, mustn't keep you then. Perhaps we should just let it ride for a few days longer. She must know that she'll have to be back in time to prepare for the other people moving into the house. Of course, if she still hasn't turned up by then, we shall have to see what can be done to trace her.
You don't think I'm making too much of all this? Only Mr. Scope
Not at
said
all. You've been very sensible, Mr. Spain. Now, if you do think of anything else, I'll be glad to hear from you straight away. Oh, and a photograph. That would be particularly helpful. Sid?
Yes, Gov?
Come in a minute, will you? Thank you, Mr. Spain. As I say, if you think of anything else, however small, just give us a ring. If I'm not here, Sergeant Love will take care of you.
Ah, bet you will at all.
What's up then?
Come inside, Sid.
Well?
Might be too soon to say yet, but I think there's another middle-aged woman gone missing.
Honestly, Lucy, are you sure you're making the right decision? I mean, look at it. Miles and miles of nothing but flat, empty fields all the way to the horizon. And I've never seen the horizon look so far off.
It's the countryside, Mortimer. That's what's known as the countryside.
Yeah, doesn't look like this in the Cotswolds or in Devonshire.
Of course it doesn't. This is East Anglia, what I believe is called the Fen country.
But you're a Londoner, Lucy. What on earth will you do out here in this Fen country, in this, what is it called? Flaxchester?
Flaxborough.
But what'll you do there? As I say, you're a Londoner, born and bred. You'll pine away.
I feel ready for a change, for a withdrawal from familiar places and the familiar round. All of my past, or most of it, is in London after all.
Exactly.
And it's been rather on the point of catching up with me lately. I've always said that if one wants to preserve one's independence and interest in life, not to mention one's liberty, it doesn't do to be caught up with.
Nonsense. You're as alert as ever.
I'm not so sure. There have been one or two occasions in the past year when a lapse of memory, or should I say shrewdness, have put me, well, at a temporary disadvantage. In a way, I'm thankful for them. They are timely reminders of the dangers of complacency.
But what'll you do?
I can assure you I shall not be idle. I think that, in my particular line of business, advancing years can only be an advantage, lending as they do an air of respectability. Yes, I think that in my old age I shall probably be more successful than ever, which May not be true in your case, of course.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
My dear Mortimer, I can't help feeling that youth is an asset to a professional correspondent. An asset which is sadly in decline in your case.
Lucilla Teatime, I'm absolutely in my prime. That's hardly...
Dear Mortimer, you know that I would never mean to be unkind to you. But I do think it's time you started to do as I am doing. Accept that nothing lasts forever and make contingency plans for the future.
I shall certainly not bury myself in some little backwater like Flaxborough.
Flaxborough. And it isn't a backwater.
But as I said before, what'll you do? You don't know anyone. Where will you live? I mean, anything might happen to a middle-aged woman all alone.
I've always had to fend for myself, so that won't be any hardship. I am booked in at the Roebuck for the time being, until I find a place of my own. As to what I shall do, I shall start by buying the local newspaper and reading the personal columns from end to end.
And then?
And then I shall think of something. You can depend upon it. Ah, I think we're arriving. Would you help me down with my case, Mortimer, dear?
It'll be very lonely in London without you, Lucy.
Then you must come and see me often. You shall come and stay as soon as I'm settled. You could do with a rest.
I'm in my prime, I tell you.
Here, would you like to finish my cigar?
Oh, thank you.
Now take care of yourself, dear old friend. And good luck with your assignment in whoever's bed it may be in. Where is it?
The Railway Arms, Brockleston-on-Sea.
The Railway Arms? Brockleston-on-Sea? Oh, Mortimer. And to think it used to be the Dorchester and the Savoy.
Flaxborough! Any more for Flaxborough?
Goodness, I must go, or I shall find myself in Brockleston-on-Sea with you.
Take care, dear Lucy.
Don't you worry about me. I'm sure Flaxborough has all sorts of attractions for a middle-aged lady of independent means.
They were both comfortable, independent, and you've got to admit, Sid, the two cases are too similar to look like coincidence. Martha Reckitt vanished 3 months ago, and there's still no sign of Mrs. Bannister.
Do you mean we might have one of those, lady killers? Like that French fella? What was his name?
Landreau.
That's him. Or that other fella with the bath.
Well, I hope not.
Well, brighten things up a bit, though, Governor.
You know, every time you call me Governor, I feel as if I ought to be wearing a deerstalker hat and carrying a magnifying glass.
Do you think it is a murder, though, Inspector?
Well, I shall have to find out.
Where are you going?
To have a chat with the Chief Constable.
Blimey. I'd have thought you'd have enough on your plate if we've a Bluebeard on the rampage.
Now then, Sid, Mr. Chubb is the Chief Constable after all, and as
Well,
such...
I know, but... Well, he's never any help, is he? I mean, no disrespect, but he's not interested in anything except his gardening and those flipping Yorkies of his. How many's he got now?
9 at the last count.
9. And they all look like rats.
Nevertheless, apart from the fact that it is only proper that I keep my Chief Constable informed of all goings-on, I do also find that he helps me to think.
Helps you to think?
You know, if you sit by a still pond, Sid, and drop pebbles into the empty water one at a time, you can watch the ripples spreading outwards across the calm surface.
Yeah?
Well, that's how I find the Chief Constable's mind. Static. I drop the pebbles, the ideas, and watch them spread out over the calm surface. I find it no end of a help.
Isn't it lovely, Mortimer? Flaxborough is absolutely studded with the quaintest little tea shops, but this is my favourite so far.
Lovely.
Now, I won't have sulks, so it didn't go well.
Disaster. Unmitigated disaster.
I did warn you. You're too old for those sort of frolics.
Oh, put it down to experience.
Really, Mortimer, at your age you should be reaping the benefits of experience, not starting a dossier.
Anyway, I didn't stop off to bore you with my woes. I was worried about you. I wanted to see if you were all right.
Of course I'm all right. This place is ideal. It even has a local newspaper 2 days a week. See here, the Flaxborough Citizen. Let's look through the personals together. It might cheer you up.
Oh, very well. Let's see. Not promising. Mostly commercials. Lots of moneylenders. Foolproof chimney cowl.
Denture fixatives.
Learn the mandolin in a week.
Joan the Wad, of course.
Certain rubber artifacts to be sent under plain cover.
Good old 1000% and no overheads. Uncle George did so well out of that until the day he died. I still have some of his samples in store somewhere.
Just a minute. Unparalleled opportunity for lovers of unusual art. It can't be.
Good God, it must be. Maisie and Ted are still at it.
Same advertisement they've been running for years.
I remember them starting out.
Real old troopers.
Bless their hearts.
Ah, a business opportunity exists.
Oh, no. No, thank you. Not that one. Ah, now that wasn't in on Tuesday. Perhaps it only appears in the Thursday edition.
Ah.
Look. I'd hardly dare to hope for such a thing. Not in remote, prosperous, hard-headed Flaxborough.
A matrimonial bureau?
Well, what else could it be? Hand-clasp house. Are you weary of the solitary path? Clients from all walks of life, introductions arranged, view to permanent association, countless instances of happiness, small initial fee. No doubt about it.
That's more one of your lines.
That, my dear Mortimer, is exactly my line. I think I can count myself already launched in Flaxborough society.
Now then, Deirdre, surely you know the inspector well enough. Wonderful ratters, you know.
Pretty good with socks, too.
Yes, sorry about that. Down now, go. Basket! Basket! So, when was she last seen, Inspector Purbright? This, second one, I mean.
A window cleaner remembers calling and getting paid about the end of last month. He's been twice since then, and he has the impression that everything in the rooms has stayed exactly as it was.
Well, I mean, he looks in.
He's a very perceptive window cleaner, sir.
You've checked the hospitals, I suppose?
Straight away, sir. And Sergeant Love has covered the travel agencies. I'm having the woman's picture circulated, and we're making inquiries at the railway and bus stations, just as we did for Martha Reckitt.
Oh, yes. We didn't get very far with that, did we, Mr. Purbright?
We didn't get anywhere.
No.
Of course, you will have spotted the rather interesting parallels between the two cases.
Parallels? Oh, yes.
Both about the same age, both rather retiring, without close friends, lonely perhaps. One, a spinster, I use the word technically, sir, it's not one I like, and the other, a widow.
I don't like that one either. Weeds. Of course, you're not a gardener.
No, sir. What I'm getting at, though, is that perhaps the most significant thing they had in common, apart from ready money, was availability.
Oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Purbright. I would have thought them both pretty moral, from what you say. Martha especially. Her mother was a very decent soul.
I meant matrimonially available.
I'm with you, yes. Go on.
A woman who keeps a reputation for respectability in Flaxborough for 40 years is not easily lured.
Lured?
I mean, she isn't going to run off with the first man who knocks on the door and tells her he wants her to do some modelling. She would need to be offered a solid proposition, however romantic the trimmings. Of course, you will say that lust seethes within the most maidenly bosom.
Well, I don't think I...
And you will be right. But always there is this prime regard to security.
Well, we talk of luring. We don't really know about that, though, do we?
The only alternative is that Miss Reckitt and Mrs. Bannister went off on their own initiative, without a word to anybody, leaving their belongings and obligations.
Well, such things do happen. Change of life, you know.
Both a little young for the menopause, surely, sir? No, I agree with you.
Really?
Oh, yes. You said luring. Luring is the aspect we must concentrate on. The spontaneous departure theory will hardly work for two cases in the same town within so short a time.
Oh, yes, hardly.
And can we have another look at your point about both ladies being matrimonially available?
Your point, surely, Mr. Purbright. Oh, well, perhaps not.
I think we shall find that an offer of marriage has figured at some stage in each case. It's the only bait I can think of that would have worked in the circumstances.
So they might now be married?
Not unless they use false names. We did make appropriate inquiries, you know.
Well, in that case, I don't see that these hypothetical proposals of marriage can be of much help to us, Mr. Purbright. This case is likely to have been made before witnesses.
There could be written references to them. We know that neither of these women went out very much. Miss Reckitt's landlady said Martha was almost a recluse, and Mrs. Bannister certainly didn't share in any social whirls. It would be quite in character for a latter-day courtship to be conducted by correspondence. They both tend to be secretive, and a middle-aged woman will often derive quite a lot of excitement from letter-writing. Look at some of our poison pen customers.
Rather not, I think.
Ow!
Now then, Deirdre.
You'll remember, sir...
Just ignore her. She'll soon lose interest.
You'll remember, sir, that we found nothing in the way of a lead among Miss Reckitt's things, but we weren't likely to anyway, and the landlady had the impression that she kept all her letters in a handbag. I've more hopes of Mrs. Bannister's place. She had the house to herself, so there was no need for her to worry about prying.
You know, Mr. Purbright, you're quite an expert on female psychology.
Thank you, sir.
I trust you'll never be tempted to turn it to nefarious account. Now let Mr. Purbright go, Deirdre, there's a good girl. He has work to do. We can't go on losing middle-aged ladies, can we?
Good morning.
Will be a minute. They wanted this. Manager, Roebuck Hotel. There. Sorry, can I help you? Oh, good morning. It's Miss Teatime, isn't it?
It is.
I thought it must be. I've had a few days off, wasn't here when you booked in, but you're the only lady staying here at the moment.
I tremble to think what the others must be, then.
Pardon?
Nothing.
No, you see, I noticed the name.
Not many people forget a name like Teatime.
No, I don't suppose they do. Can I help you, Miss Teatime?
I want to find an address. It doesn't seem to be in my street map. Somewhere called Nerthgat.
Nerthgat?
Well, that's what it says. Here, look in the local newspaper.
Well, let's have a look. Handclasp House, 10 Nerthgat... Oh, that's Northgate. It's the flipping newspaper, The Citizen. They're always printing things wrong like that. That's that... Well, it's that... You know, isn't it?
It's a matrimonial agency.
That's what I mean. A friend of mine went there, run by some woman called... Ooh, funny name. Staunch. Sylvia Staunch, I think it is. Didn't do no good for my friend, though. She had acne, you see.
Oh, dear.
Mrs. Staunch did her best. Fixed her up with fellas to meet and that. But as soon as they saw her acne, they was off.
Oh, the poor dear. What did she do?
She went to Australia.
Let's hope I shan't need to do that.
Seems to be all clear in here, Governor.
Right. Come in here, Sid. This bureau seems to be where she keeps most of her paperwork.
Oh, well, thank God for that.
What's that, then?
Well, no nasties. Not so far, anyway. Thought it might have been one of those, well, you know, mortal remains things.
Well, I suppose it might still be. Though I sincerely hope not.
Must say she was a good housekeeper. Keeps the place lovely and neat. Reminds me of Auntie Edith's place. Toothbrush and toothpaste are still in the bathroom, by the way.
That's ominous.
Found something?
I think so. Letters. 3 of them. Each beginning, Lillian, my dear, and each ending with your impatient Rex. No, careful now. Better put our gloves on.
Oh, thinking of Prince, eh?
Dabbed, Sid, surely. Do let's be professional. Right. Gloves on?
Yes.
Right. Now, see what you make of that, then.
Decent notepaper. Not distinctive, though, I shouldn't have thought. Available at most stationers. Good, firm handwriting. That's all I can say, really.
Aren't you going to read it?
Lillian, my dear, I wonder if you can imagine how much our little stroll together meant to me. It is so true, all that about sermons in streams and books in trees and good in everything. At least I see it is true when you are with me. Isn't the country marvellous? What a lot I was missing up there in my big Mayfair flat. London from the sound of it.
Brilliant. Go on.
Now I do nothing but dream about our little cottage. I am seeing the agent again tomorrow, and I hope to have good news from my publisher before the end of the week. It is just this matter of the deposit that is a teeny bit awkward. What? Oh, I see what you mean. But do not worry, my true one. We cannot have a cloud in those clear eyes, can we? Until Tuesday, your impatient Rex. Bloody hell.
Oh, you've spotted the misquotation. That sermons in streams bit. If Rex is an author, he'll have to do better than that.
Our Florence has a dog called Rex.
Does he write passionate letters to middle-aged ladies?
Of course not.
Oh, so we can eliminate him from our inquiries then.
Well,
Only joking, Sid. Sorry. Now then, letter number 2. Lillian, my dear, I took a trip, or pilgrimage, should I say, to the church this morning. How right you are. What a noble edifice, and how fitting for vows until death. I think I must use the scene for my next novel. Thank you for lending me back those earlier letters. I was right, I think. They do contain some phrases that ought to be worked into the book. Ho, clever.
How do you mean?
Getting his letters back.
Oh, yes. Cunning blighter.
There's more. You see what inspiration you give me. And here's some good news. My publisher sent me a long telegram this morning begging me not to consider the offer from that big rival I told you about. He says he will personally send me £2,000.
Oh.
Think of that, Lillian, out of his own private fortune, if his other directors do not manage to raise the money before settling day, as they call it, on 'Change. You remember I told you about that. What a pity publishers are the slaves of the city these days. Art should be far above that sort of thing. Anyway, I tell you all this so that you can feel easier about the little investment in our happiness that you want to make.
Ah.
Quite so. You will see that I am right when I say that you have a business head upon those graceful shoulders. By the way, the agent says that cash will be best. These country swains are suspicious of cheques. Good night, a sweet good night, my dear. I will be waiting tomorrow at our tree. Your impatient Rex. P.S. The agent also tells me that he thinks our enemy will withdraw his offer for the cottage once he knows that our deposit is paid. Good-o. Right. Your turn, Sid. Letter number 3. Looks comparatively short.
Lillian, my dear, something has cropped up, as they say. That literary luncheon in London has been brought forward to Wednesday. What a nuisance. But my publisher says it can't be helped because J.B. Priestley couldn't manage Friday, so you will understand, I am sure. Come to our tree on Friday at 7, and I shouldn't be surprised if I bring something special from a certain Mary Goldsmith in Old London town. Your impatient Rex.
Oh, I bet he was too. Exit Mrs. Bannister via our tree.
He certainly writes like an author.
Oh, Sid.
Well, depends what sort of books you like.
It does indeed. Now then, what else? Bills. All paid promptly. Bank statement and chequebook. Mrs. Bannister obviously hasn't made very frequent use of her bank services. Should make it easier. Now, here we are. Counterfoil marked self £400. The investment in happiness, obviously. Borough Council, Water Company, Electricity Board, Insurance. Nothing there. Hey, just a minute, though. There's one here. 4 months ago. Sylvia Staunch, 20 guineas. Have you any notion, Sid, of who Miss or Mrs. Sylvia Staunch happens to be?
Sylvia Staunch. Sylvia Staunch. It rings a bloody bell.
Lonelyheart 4122 by Colin Watson, dramatised by Christopher Dennis. John Rowe played Inspector Purbright, Paul Downing, Sergeant Love, and Linda Gardner, Lucy Teatime. Geoffrey Banks was the Chief Constable, Peter Wheeler, Mr. Spain, Simon Carter, Mortimer Hive, and Victoria Finney, the Receptionist. Lonelyheart 4122 was produced for BBC North by Tony Cliff.
Tea shop, Sid.
Beg pardon, Governor?
I have a feeling that our two missing ladies, Miss Reckitt and Mrs. Bannister, would have chosen to be courted in tea shops. Try taking their pictures round.
But there must be dozens of tea shops in Flaxborough.
Well, so long as you don't stop for tea in any of them, you should be back by lunchtime.
And 3 almond slices and a medium seed cake.
Right. Hey, you can't go through there.
I'm looking for somebody in charge of the tea shop.
We don't open the tea shop part till 11. Can't get the help, you see.
Oh, well, actually, I wanted to...
Just a minute, she's serving me.
And I'm not standing here to get a suntan now.
Well, actually, I'm a police officer.
You what?
I said I'm a police officer.
Don't look old enough to be a prefect.
You know what they say about policemen getting younger.
I'd like a word with you.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, just a minute.
I won't be a tick. We're very busy, you know.
Yes, I'm sorry. But I'll not keep you. I'd like you to look at these 2 photographs. I just want to know if you've just seen either of these ladies here in the cafe at any time. In the last 2 or 3 months, anyway.
What have they done?
Nothing. It's just that we can't seem to find them. I mean, discover their whereabouts.
You mean they're missing?
You could say that.
Presumed dead?
Well, it's a bit early to...
Let's have a look.
Here.
What's this one's name?
Mrs. Bannister.
It might have been her who was in the other week. I'm not sure, mind.
How long ago?
A fairish while. 2 or 3 weeks. If it was her...
And the rest of my shopping to do yet, you know.
Well, what about me? I have a cake in. Only meant to be 10 minutes.
Look, I'll have to get on of a queue for
All right, but can you remember who she was with?
But really...
It's important, honestly.
They sat over there, in the corner. Dicky bow.
I beg your pardon?
He was wearing one of those dicky bows. You don't often see them nowadays. That's all I remember, though.
Ever get the feeling you're invisible?
All the time in this shop.
Look, I've got to get on.
Is that all? Nothing else?
No. No. Sorry, Mrs. Parsons, what was it again?
A medium seed cake.
How old was he?
So. Middle-aged, I suppose, like her.
Oh, hair?
That's a large seed cake. I can't eat all that.
Sorry. I don't know.
Dark, fair?
Fair? Yes. Fair, I suppose. He was sort of, ever so attentive, you know. What they call gallant, I believe.
Oh, bit of a fancy lad, you mean?
Sort of. Sorry, what was it?
And a medium seed cake. Honestly.
Thanks.
Talk about a police tit. Getting worse than Russia.
Excuse me?
Uno momento. I'll be with you, yes?
Well, I wouldn't say no. What a little cracker. Just look at the way she bends over that trolley. And when she walks, oh, you can practically...
Yes, here I am.
Oh, yes, I'm a police officer.
Oh.
I wondered if you'd mind having a look at these 2 photographs. Have either of these 2 ladies been in here in the past few months?
Oh, this one, yes. Miss... Oh, her name now. It's to do with a game.
Miss Reckitt?
Tennis. I knew it was a game. I remember. She come the first day I start. Maybe the first, second customer.
That's why you remember her?
Sure. And she's so nice to me. Patient. When I not know where things are. And she chat. Tell me she called Ricketts.
Reckitt?
Yes. While she waiting.
Waiting? Did somebody join her?
Sure, yes. A man. I think a priest.
A priest?
I think so. Very dark clothes and hands like so, like praying all the time. And all the time he's looking very sad at my legs. Not proper priest, maybe.
Not proper?
Well, what you call them in England.
Oh, you mean a clergyman?
I think, yes.
Can you describe him?
A man, not young, not as young as you.
Oh.
But with a something, you know.
Ah, like me, you mean?
No, he have something, you know.
Suppose so. Is there anything else you can think of? Colour of eyes or hair?
Oh, yes. Not a dark hair. Colour like a... Oh, like...
Like?
No, don't tell me now. Like...
Corn?
No, like...
A pale mouse?
No, like...
Like...
Chips.
Chips?
Yes, colour like a chips.
Chips?
That's what she said. That's all I got. Drew a blank at all the others.
Well, you've gathered more than I expected, Sid. I wish I had your way with women.
I wish I'd had my way with that Chips one, I tell you.
Never mind, Sid. Every dog has his day.
Mine's a long time coming, then. In any case, I wouldn't have thought the descriptions were much help.
They seldom are, unless they include 6-inch scars or a peg leg and a pallet on the shoulder. The point is that we now have a much clearer idea of the kind of man we're looking for. His line of business.
A clergyman who writes books, you mean?
No, not at all. What we have to find is a non-clergyman who doesn't write books.
That ought to be easy.
Not easy, but less difficult in the context of Flaxborough society than looking for, say, an embezzler or a fornicator. A needle is much simpler to find in a haystack than in a bin of other needles.
Ah, my gran used to say that.
Well, then your gran was right. Now then, whoever won the affections of Miss Reckitt and Mrs. Bannister is obviously a professional or semi-professional con man. Among these people there's quite narrow specialisation. The bogus charity collector does not cross into the territory of the encyclopedia salesman, nor does the inventor in search of capital to market his everlasting petrol capsule work overtime as a spirit guide.
Remember that bloke who was supposed to have put old Alderman Werry in touch with Edward VII?
Just so, a full-timer. They hung 83 taken into considerations on him. But to get back to the business in hand, here we have another kind of full-timer, the con man who's forever pointed towards an altar. He's probably the hardest worker of them all. Think of the life that is perpetual courtship of the last woman on earth you'd care to marry. And that's real graft, Sid.
I'll say.
So you see, we're not looking for an ordinary criminal. We seek a man who can pose convincingly as an author, probably as a clergyman, and possibly as other romantic things. It'd be interesting to know what he is at the moment.
A surgeon?
Aye, very likely. Plenty of tuck in his jacket sleeve to show off long, sensitive hands, and a sprinkle of Dettol behind the driving seat.
What about a secret agent?
Strictly for dim-witted shopgirls, I'd have thought. Our man's a cut above trading on the Bond syndrome.
Clever, too. The way he covers his tracks by getting his letters back from Mrs. Bannister.
Quite. And we've got precious little from the 3 he didn't recover. Not even a fingerprint, apparently. I wonder how they corresponded between meetings. Without his having to give his address away, I mean.
Through some sort of box number, maybe. Could have been the post office.
Box number? Now, that cheque stub for £21, 20 guineas. Guineas! Fee! Client! Sid?
Yeah?
Isn't there one of those matrimonial agencies somewhere in the town?
Ah.
Well, is there?
That name.
What name?
On the cheque. Staunch, that's it. She runs a marriage bureau thing. I'm sure she does. Somewhere in Northgate. One of those run-down Victorian buildings. Used to be the Liberal Club.
Brilliant. I'll go over there now. I promised that Mrs. Palmer I'd pop over there first chance I got and have a word with Mr. Leeper about the hymn singing. I've never been to a marriage bureau. What do you think I ought to ask for? A catalogue? Be the least one could expect, I'd have thought, for 20 guineas.
20 guineas?
Ah, now that may seem high to some people for a mere introduction, but I know that a person of breeding, of integrity, has no difficulty in recognising that a high fee is really designed for her protection, a sort of safety barrier against swindlers and exploiters. There are such people, you know.
Are there really?
Indeed there are. Now, tell me about yourself.
Well, I've only just arrived in Flaxborough, you see, and I think it is altogether a charming little town. I really do. Of course, London has been my home for many years, but I have not been fully happy there.
The big city can be a very lonely place.
Indeed it can. And in recent years, London has become so intimidating somehow. The rushing about, the overcrowding. One simply has no time to stand and stare, as they say.
Are you a Londoner by birth, Miss...
Teatime. Lucilla Teatime.
Teatime.
No. As a matter of fact, I was born in Lincolnshire.
Oh.
There are tea times in the Caister area, you know. Perhaps that is why I had this urge to seek more rural surroundings. And I do like the sea, of course. Do you not find that Flaxborough smells of the sea?
We have a tidal river.
Tidal? Oh, how nice.
And there are the docks.
I am very fond of docks. Not that I have ever been in one, you understand.
So, now here you are in our little community, and you feel you would like someone to share in the adventure. Is that how it is?
You could put it like that. A guide and a comforter true is perhaps what I need.
I think you have the right idea, Miss Teatime. I know how difficult it is to adapt to a new environment, and 2 heads are always better than one, are they not?
Well, not on the same neck. As my uncle used to say. He was a bit of a card, the rector.
Of course, I think it's only fair to tell you that by no means everyone who comes here is accepted as a client. We are very selective. We insist upon 2 qualifications, a good background and sincerity. Oh, here's a little form for you to fill in. Seems to be something we can't escape these days, doesn't it?
Oh, dear, I'm terribly bad at forms. My stockbroker says I'll land myself in prison if I'm not careful.
Your stockbroker?
Well, that's what he says.
Well, just take your time, my dear. Oh, by the way, this part about, well, means is absolutely confidential, so don't worry. Simply to give me a little guidance as to the sort of people you might like to meet.
Do I put my name here?
That's right. Full name. And in block capitals, please. That's it. Oh, my. Lucilla Edith Cavil Teatime. Isn't that a pretty name? What a pity we shall have to introduce you simply as Miss Lonelyheart 347.
Morning, brother.
The very person. Good afternoon, Mr. Leaper.
Is it? So it must be. Time means nothing to the Lord.
Neither, it seems, does noise. Off on your bicycle?
Yes. I've got some calls to make.
Your flock bang on without you then, do they? Never seem to leave the mission hall, seem to sing joyously day and night.
Ah, they sing in there because they are saved. They have come in. But out there in the alleys and gutters are millions of sinners waiting to be saved.
I think your neighbours are less worried about the ones who sit silently in gutters and alleyways than they are about those in the mission who praise the Lord so incessantly. And with tambourines.
More complaints?
I'm afraid so.
Sister Palmer?
Mrs. Palmer, yes. I don't think she'd respond well to being called sister.
Well, I've tried everything to win her to our calling. Trouble is, some people just don't want to be saved.
Some people just want peace and quiet. Surely your flock could enjoy a little silent prayer from time to time, perhaps even meditation, if, of course, such a thing is acceptable to your denomination.
I will have words, Brother Purbright. There is an certain builder whom the Lord hath called unto our flock, who might be able to improve the soundproofing of the mission house.
Well, verily, if he could bring that to pass, I could go on my way rejoicing, yea, 100-fold.
Good day, Brother Purbright.
Oh, one moment, Brother Leaper. Tell me, what contact do you have with the staff of, that is the, well, other clergymen?
It would depend on whether or not they are saved.
Oh, I thought all clergymen were saved.
Good heavens, no.
We live and learn. But if there were a strange clergyman in the town, a visitor perhaps, would you tend to know about it? To meet him, to go up and introduce yourself perhaps? Welcome him aboard?
It would be for him to find me. He would know where I am.
Ah.
And now, Inspector, I really must return to my labours.
Just one more thing, Mr. Leaper. I wonder if you can direct me. I'm looking for Handclasp House. I believe it's here in Northgate somewhere.
The Marriage Bureau? But I
Yes, I'm already married. I'm here in a professional capacity.
Oh, yes. Sister Staunch. That is the building which now calls itself Handclasp House.
Oh, yes.
It has a small formica board, you will find, to that effect inside the hallway, though over the arch it still has the Liberal Club chiselled in stone.
Ah. Thank you, Mr. Leaper.
Hearken to my flock.
Yes, I was hearkening to them 3 streets away. Still, I'll call round again to see how you're getting on with that soundproofing.
Come in. Oh, good afternoon.
Ah, you must be Mrs. Staunch.
Oh, do come in and sit down, Mr.
Purbright.
Welcome to Handclasp House, Mr. Purbright. I hope you'll soon feel perfectly at home and among friends.
Perhaps I should say straight away, it's Detective Inspector Purbright.
Ah, I presume then that you are not here to offer yourself as a client.
Hardly.
I confess I had thought not as you came in. You don't look married, and that is the surest sign that you have a wife and are well content with her.
I shall tell Mrs. Purbright that. You are Mrs. Staunch, of course.
Correct.
I'd rather expected that it would be Mr. Staunch whom I would find. From the sign on the door, that is. I got the impression that it was ladies to the left to see you and gentlemen to the right to see Mr. Staunch.
A slight deception of our trade, Inspector. I have a husband, but so far as the agency is concerned, Donald is a fiction. I interview all my clients myself.
Your husband takes no part in the work, then?
In this work? Heavens, no. He has far too much of his own as an architect.
Architect?
Well, architectural consultant, actually. Next time you want your cells rebuilding or whatever, send for Donald. He did a prison block once.
It's your help rather than your husband's, for which I should be obliged at the moment, Mrs. Staunch.
Of course.
There are 2 women. Both of them live here in Flaxborough, or have done up to recently, whom we are rather anxious to trace. Now, one is a widow, the other is an unmarried woman. We think that they may have approached your agency probably within the last 6 months or so.
You mean these women have disappeared?
In effect, yes.
You'd better give me their names.
Mrs. Lillian Bannister. She's the widow, of course. And the other one's called Martha Reckitt. Now, yes, these are their photographs.
Oh, you think about 6 months ago?
In Mrs. Bannister's case, 4 exactly.
Why, exactly?
Well, that was the date on a cheque for 20 guineas which she made out to you.
Oh, is it because of the cheque that you came to see me?
Or because of the counterfoil, actually. At the moment, we don't know that the cheque reached you.
Oh, it did. Mrs. Bannister paid her registration fee and used the services of my agency for several weeks. I'm fairly sure that the other lady was a client as well. I'll have a look in my records in a moment. The trouble is that... Oh, well, tell me if I'm jumping too far ahead, Inspector, but I can see that you believe something has happened to these women, which leads you naturally to suppose some kind of criminal is responsible, which in turn gives you the idea that they may have met him, or them, through the agency. Am I right?
I wouldn't quite...
Well, you might as well be frank, Inspector. I certainly intend to be.
All right. That's roughly the argument so far.
Well, now let me tell you something of how this sort of agency operates. I want you to see certain difficulties that probably haven't occurred to you. In the first place, it's terribly important for people who come here to feel that the whole thing is strictly confidential. It is this that forces us to adopt certain forms of procedure that you might think, well, childish and melodramatic. My husband thinks it's awful. He calls it MI5 for the lovelorn. Well, what he doesn't understand is that you have to sort of cage lonely people up before you can do anything for them. It's safety they really want, and that means secrecy.
I understand that.
Right. Someone comes along, Mrs. Bannister, say. I list as much as she'll tell me about herself, age, hobbies, tastes, what she admires in a man.
Financial means?
If it seems relevant, yes. Anyway, all these things go down on the office record, and she's allocated a number. That number is her guarantee of remaining anonymous right up to the time when she herself decides to reveal her identity to the person she believes she can be happy with.
I see.
The next step is for me to prepare a selection from the gentleman's file of clients who seem likely in temperament, background, and so on, to match up with Mrs. Bannister. This is where you have to be a bit of a psychologist, of course, and one has to bear in mind that it's opposites that often prove to agree the best. Once I've let her have this selection, with numbers, not names, remember, it's up to her to write to any of them and suggest correspondence. All letters come to my office for redirection or to be collected just as clients prefer, so even I don't know who writes to whom.
I see.
Of course, Mrs. Bannister would have what you might call a double chance. In addition to being given that list of possibles, she would also have her number and details circulated to those of my gentlemen clients I considered might be interested in her. And if any proved to be so, their letters would reach her through the office here without her being put under any obligation.
Oh, there seems to be quite a lot of work entailed. For you, I mean.
It's tremendously worthwhile. It really is.
I think I'm beginning to see the difficulties you mentioned.
In relation to this inquiry of yours?
Yes, the field's a good deal wider than I would like, in my uninstructed optimism, I'd thought in terms of single, specific introductions. I hoped for a name and address for my pains.
Oh, life is not simple, Mr. Purbright.
No, indeed, Mrs. Staunch. It takes all sorts, doesn't it?
Well, let's see what can be done. Oh, provided you understand that anything I can tell you must be in the strictest confidence.
Oh, of course, of course.
Things, Ballman, Bannister. There we are. And, Randall, Raven, Raymond, Rickett. I thought they would both still be on file. They fill in these forms themselves, you see. Age, address, what they like doing, various little personal details. Any use?
Miss Martha Elizabeth Rickett. Respectable religious family, reasonably well provided for, means for setting up a home of my own if I could meet someone sincere and companionable. Very interested in welfare work, would love to live in the country. Parish affairs greatly appeal to me. I sometimes take a Sunday school class. Tolerant on most matters, I could have no admiration for a man who drank. Do not condemn smoking, at least not pipe smoking. I've been told that I cook well and am reasonably good-looking. I enjoy good health, apart from a slight asthmatic tendency. Now, Mrs. Bannister. No mention of family, except I have just lost one of the best. Like television, plays especially, and keeping my home nice. I'm told that I have a nice figure and often think I would like to see it in a dance frock again if the chance offered, which I hope it might, even now. I love books and do lots of reading, as I am a bit on the quiet side. My special ambition is to keep chickens. I would not hesitate to sell up my nice home for the sake of moving to a cottage in the country. What I like most in a man is attentiveness and a free and easy way. And education. I admire that very much. Tell me, Mrs. Staunch, isn't there a real possibility of people exploiting an agency like yours? I mean, here are two women who are obviously asking for trouble.
Oh, you are thinking of what they've put down here about their means.
Oh, certainly.
No, but things like that are just for my guidance. They're absolutely confidential.
But there's no guarantee that these women won't divulge details themselves once a correspondence gets started.
That's true. They aren't children, though. Neither I nor anyone else can protect them forever. They wouldn't want me to.
No, I suppose that sounds fair enough. As I understand it, you provided Miss Rickett and Mrs. Bannister with a list each of gentlemen selected by you from your current clients as being potential matches for the ladies in question. Each list was, in effect, a set of descriptions. Each description applying to a particular client and being accompanied by his code number. Now, this number was the key to the man's name and address, known only to him and you. By the way, they're all three-figure numbers, aren't they?
All three figures, that's right. Clever of you to spot that, Inspector. Even numbers for the gentlemen, odd ones for the ladies.
Very well. What you didn't know and cannot now tell me is the identity of those clients who did in fact get in touch with Miss Rickett and Mrs. Bannister.
I'm afraid that is so.
Then have you a record of the lists which Miss Rickett and Mrs. Bannister received? You see what I'm after. The names of men from whom these women had a choice. If a record exists, it would simplify my job tremendously.
Record? No, I've no record of that kind. In any case, I can't compromise my clients. There's mutual trust involved here, Inspector.
There may well be murder involved, Mrs. Staunch.
Oh, we can't know for certain at the moment.
You must see the possibility, though. It's a rather more serious matter, surely, than professional etiquette.
Oh, that is too light a word, Inspector, if you don't mind my saying so. My pledges to people who come here are not just points of etiquette.
No, of course not. I'm sorry.
I suppose that in the circumstances you could be fairly insistent. You know, a search warrant or something.
I'd much rather that question didn't arise.
Look, as I told you, I've no record of those particular lists, but what I will do is this. I'll go through my file straight away this evening and try to reconstruct the one I sent to Mrs. Bannister. I know my own system, and there's no reason why it shouldn't work out the same twice.
And Miss Reckitt?
No, that was too far back. 2 months ago. I tidied the files up quite a bit, and a lot of names won't be there anymore.
Shall I send someone round in the morning?
Oh, I'd rather you didn't, if you don't mind, Inspector. I'll see that you get it as soon as possible. I can see that you're in something of a hurry.
If my supposition is correct, Mrs. Staunch, then I'm in a very great hurry. I'm anxious to prevent this man from hoodwinking any other vulnerable ladies.
Dear Miss 347, I wonder if you would like to write to me, as I understand you are interested in finding companionship. I, too, am a solitary soul, and would be very glad to hear from another such. Our ages, it seems, are about the same, and I feel that we might have tastes in common. I believe that you are fond of the sea, and as I am a now-beached old salt, we may share many a yarn. As I am in the happy position of not having to worry about earning a living, though not exactly one of the idle rich, time does drag a bit, so you will understand how hopeful I am of hearing from you. Yours very sincerely, Lonelyheart 4122, RN, retired. Well, Lonelyheart 4122, you sound rather the man for me. Shiver me timbers if you don't. I think this calls for another large unwinder. Excuse me?
Yes, Miss Teatime?
I wonder if I might have another of those drinks you gave me. Whisky, was it? It really has made me feel ever so much better. I can't think what came over me. My legs were positively shaking.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Miss Teatime.
Oh, and I'll have another packet of those little cigars, please. Thank you so much.
In Lonelyheart 4122, John Rowe played Inspector Purbright, Linda Gardner, Lucy Teatime, and Paul Downing, Sergeant Love. Anne Rye was Mrs. Staunch, Renee Kobrinsky, Leaper, Judy Holt, Phylis, and Victoria Finney, the Italian girl. Lonelyheart 4122 by Colin Watson has been dramatised by Christopher Dennis and directed for BBC North by Tony Cliff.
Dear Lonelyheart 4122, I was so pleased to receive your letter this morning. It had been forwarded to me very promptly, and it gave me a nice feeling of being less of a stranger in my new surroundings. Now, what can I tell you about myself? I am unmarried, of course. There, that is one thing you can put yourself at ease about. And, like you, it seems, have no demands on my time. This can be rather a bore, of course, but I manage to keep myself occupied with walking. Nature is a never-failing source of delight, don't you agree? Also with trying my prentice hand at writing. Not much success so far, alas. And with dull, womanly things like needlework. Careful, Lucy. Mustn't overdo it. Perhaps I should mention one little weakness as well. I have a passion, quite damaging to my bank account, for haunting antique shops. Flaxborough has already captured me in this respect. Do you like old things? They are a great reassurance, I think, in this world of the tawdry and the second-rate. And, of course, if you will forgive me for sounding terribly unfeminine and practical, antiques are a marvellous investment. Anything else? Oh, yes. As you already know, I love the sea. Of course, I couldn't help noticing that you are a Navy man. But I must say nothing of my secret ambition, or you will think me silly and romantic and quite unrealistic. May God forgive you, Lucy Teatime. There now. Sincerely yours, Lonelyheart 347. Just time to catch the lunchtime post. And then a little unwinder. And a game of dominoes, I think.
Good heavens.
What you got there, Governor?
That list from Mrs. Staunch at the matrimonial agency. The list of eligible Lonelyheart gentlemen that she thinks she might have sent to the vanished Mrs. Bannister as prospective husbands.
Crumbs.
Exactly. Know anything about a Joseph Capper, Sid?
What? Joe Capper? Out at Bowley Cross?
My home farm.
Well, crafty old bugger. He's got one already.
You mean he's married?
Has been for years. He lives in the farmhouse and she shacks up in one of the outbuildings.
Sounds like an amicable arrangement.
Oh, it's not arranged. It's just that Joe happens to be winning at the moment. 6 months ago, it was the woman who was in the house while Joe lived in the barn. They think up tricks to keep each other out. Sort of ding-dong siege.
Then what the hell's he doing with this marriage bureau lark?
I'm trying to get reinforcements, I expect.
It says here, Lonelyheart 312. They're all given a 3-figure number, you see. Evens for the men and odd for the women. Joseph Capper, home farm, Bowley Cross. A stay-at-home, but no stick in the mud. A man with acres and a mind of his own, who would share his home with a lady desirous of locking out her worries.
Oh, not half.
His hobbies are homemade wine and shooting.
Oh, is that the word it uses? Hobbies?
It is. Never mind, though. I can't see him being our man. I'll pay him a visit just as a check, but whoever's responsible for the disappearance of Miss Reckitt and Mrs. Bannister must have spent more time on it than Mr. Capper is likely to have had to spare.
I'll see.
Now then, who's next? Lonelyheart 316. William C. Singleton, 14 Leicester Avenue. Do you know him?
No, can't place him.
He's a retired waterworks engineer, apparently. Good sense of humour, handy about the house, wants sympathetic woman to share beautiful garden. You can have that one, Sid.
Right, just copy down the address. 14 Leicester Avenue.
Lot 324, Plume, George, Prospect House, Beale Street.
Oh, you can cross him off.
Oh?
He's dead.
That does inhibit us a bit, doesn't it? How would he have ranked as a suspect, though?
The report of the funeral said that he was 94.
Good God, it says, widower of 3 months, an active beekeeper and tandem enthusiast would welcome company of lively lady.
That was George, all right. A very well-preserved old gentleman.
Next, Lonelyheart 362, Leonard Henry Rusk, the old rectory, Kirby Willows. Rectory, Sid. That girl in the tea shop. The waitress that brought on your heavy breathing. You said she thought the man with Martha Reckitt looked like a clergyman.
Oh, she was a foreigner. Not used to our sort of clergyman.
You don't find a rectory suggestive?
Well, not these days. All sorts of people live in them.
Well, how about this, then? While he awaits literary success, he hopes to meet one who will fill a blank page in the book of life.
Flippin' heck. Is all the stuff written like that?
I'm afraid it is. Now, you know what we're looking for, I suppose, apart from samples of their handwriting.
A clever talker.
Right.
Who looks as if he might have a way with women.
Uh-huh.
He's possibly got a sort of clergyman look about him. Fair-haired, unless he's dyed it.
Good.
And having facilities for hiding or getting rid of bodies.
Bodies, yes, indeed. It's their failure to turn up that's made this whole affair seem a bit unreal. The thing that keeps nagging me about all this is that while we're blundering about getting pretty much nowhere, our man is, at this very moment, luring some other trusting, comfortably off middle-aged lady to her doom.
Oh, Miss Teatime?
Yes, my dear?
This letter came for you, second post.
Oh, thank you so much.
Is there anything you want?
Well, now that you mention it, it is drawing on to lunchtime. I think a little aperitif might be in order.
I'll get Phylis to fetch you a sherry, shall I? Sweet or dry?
Do you know, I think I'd like a little spirit. My tummy's been just a little...
Brandy?
I rather think that's the one that brings on my heads. What was that she gave me the other day when I felt a little queer? Quite a warming drink, I thought.
Whiskey and soda?
Yes, I think that was it.
With ice?
No, thank you, dear.
I'll tell her.
Oh, and no soda.
What? Just the whiskey?
That's right, dear. Oh, and I make it a large one. A double, do they call it? Save her trudging backwards and forwards. Now then, what have we here? Dear Miss 347, how can I describe my pleasure on receiving so prompt and friendly a reply to my little overture? As it was my very first attempt through the agency, you can guess how chuffed Chuffed? Gracious. I was when it brought a result, your letter. As I think I already told you, I am an old salt, though not all that old, I assure you. And of course I was thrilled to hear that you two have a love of the deep. We must have talks about that when, as I am bold enough to hope, we meet. So you are a writer. I could tell that from your letter, of course. You make me quite envious. Old shipmates have
Here you are, Miss Teatime. Enid said you wanted a double. Is that right?
Oh, yes, thank you, dear. That'll do nicely.
Lunch will be in 10 minutes.
Thank you, dear. Scrumptious. This seems to be my last cigar. You wouldn't fetch me another packet, would you? The little Dutch ones. No rush. Next time you're passing.
Of course, Miss Teatime.
Now then. Old shipmates have often told me that I ought to put my experiences into a book, but I never seem to have the time, which is a pity because a close friend of mine happens to be a very influential literary agent. He holds several publishers in the palm of his hand, and simply cannot get enough manuscripts, especially, he tells me, by women authors. We must see what you have hidden away there, mustn't we? And antiques. There's another coincidence. Yes, isn't it? How I agree with what you say about this world of the tawdry and the second-rate. Please tell me that we may meet. A word, and all will be arranged. So far, so jolly good.
Hello? Anybody at home? Hello?
Huh?
Ah, Mr. Capper?
What was it?
I'd like to talk to you, please.
Huh?
Yes, well, do you think I might come in? It's a bit difficult standing out here yelling at you like this.
Not convenient just now.
I'm from the police. Morning, Mr. Capper.
Here, don't stand there, Joe. Just get in here quick. Now. You should have come round to the side, mister.
Ah.
Now then. Sit yourself down.
Oh, thank you. I've just come over from Flax.
Oh, aye.
I'm a police inspector, actually. Purbright.
How do?
How do, Mr. Capper?
Fair.
Barley looks well. That'll not leave you with much straw.
It's a new one, is that? Supposed to be all head and no arse.
That's how you want it.
Aye. Like a drink?
I should.
Hollyhock is this. Best there is, if you ask me. Might have rhubarb, if you prefer, or raspberry.
No, thanks.
Or dandelion, elderberry, blackberry, or carrot.
No, hollyhock will do a treat.
Aye, best there is, if you ask me. There now. See what you make of that.
Cheers.
All the best.
Oh, it's very nice.
Aye.
Mr. Capper.
Aye.
You seem to have some sort of device rigged up.
Device?
There, piece of string from the window catch running over those pulleys and with a great old vase hanging from it, like to drop.
Aye. Real heirloom, that is.
Ah?
The wife's very fond of it.
I should think so.
Aye. She'd not want that broke.
I wonder if you know anything about jury service.
Not the first thing. You'll have another.
I'll stick with this. Driving, you know.
Don't mind if I do.
No, go ahead. The point is that you're down to be called for the Quarter Sessions next week. I suppose that would be a bit awkward for you, you being a farmer, I mean.
Bloody awkward.
In that case, it might not be a bad idea for you to authorise your wife to take your place.
For me to tell her, do you mean?
Oh, no, we do the calling. All you need to do is give permission in writing. I'll take it now, if you like.
Oh. Hey, I got a pad here somewhere and a pen. Oh, well, it's a cattle cake order form. That do.
Couldn't do better.
It'd be a nice little change for her. Hey, you take her out of herself.
have to be there all day, I expect.
Oh, yes, of course.
Could be a long case, too, eh? Go on for weeks.
Has been known.
Just tell us what to write, then.
Just put, I hereby authorise my wife, then give her full name.
Aye. Hereby. How do you spell authorise?
A-U-T-H-O-R-I-S... No, sorry, I think it's a Z. E.
Aye.
To undertake jury service when so required.
So required.
And sign it.
Joseph Capper. Hope you can read me writing.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mr. Capper. Very clear, even though I've never seen it before. Thank you. Mind you, it's not certain that your missus will be needed. I shouldn't say anything to her.
Oh, hey, I'd not have done that anyway. It'd spoil the surprise. Go on. Have another drop of Hollyhock. I feel like a bit of a celebration.
Excuse me, Mr. Singleton? Mr. Singleton!
What?
Is it Mr. Singleton?
Well, if it isn't, I'm making a very good job of his lawn for him.
I'm a police officer, Mr. Singleton. Detective Sergeant Love. Here's my ID.
I can't stop to look. There's that much to do while I can.
It's about the matrimonial agency.
You'll have to speak up, I can't hear you.
I was trying not to shout. Can I come in? The gate's locked.
Not time to stop and undo it. I can hear you over the hedge, all right, if you speak up.
It's to do with the matrimonial agency, Handclasp House.
What about it?
I believe you're a client of theirs.
And what about it?
Could I ask if you've had any luck? That is, met any ladies through them?
I haven't had any time yet. I'm going to write to one, though. One of them that they sent me. After dark.
After dark?
When I can't see what I'm doing in the garden.
Lovely roses.
There's them to be sprayed tonight yet.
Mind if I read the labels?
Not if you're careful with the blooms.
Mrs. Pettifer Brevitt's bride. Lancashire Ascending. You write these, did you, Mr. Singleton?
Of course I did. Got nobody to help me, have I? What do you think I went to the marriage agency for?
You've got very neat handwriting.
Neat handwriting doesn't win prizes, though, does it?
Doesn't it?
Not at flower shows, it doesn't.
Right. Well, I'll wish you good afternoon, Mr. Singleton.
Don't know what's good about it. It's a bleak wind. Probably be a frost tonight.
You realise you're ruining my train of thought?
Well, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Rusk.
You persons from Porlock are all the same. No conception of the writer's need for silence and concentration.
I won't keep you a minute.
Well, you'd better sit down, I suppose. Take the weight off those big policemen's feet. Inspector Plod, did you say?
Thank you, Mr. Rusk. Purbright, actually, but Plod will do perfectly well. These old rectories are very pleasant, aren't they?
Very bourgeois, I know that. Fortunately, I am impervious to my surroundings. They never even bruise my consciousness.
Oh, well, that's all right, then.
Oh, I've brought your tea, Henry dear.
Good afternoon. Mrs. Rusk, is it?
Mrs. Rusk. Huh. Typical bourgeois. No, she's my mistress. She's called Janice. Bread, Janice.
Yes, Henry.
Shrimp paste.
Yes. Shall I spread it for you?
Well, of course. What do you think, girl?
Sorry, Henry.
So, Inspector Plodright, and what are you after, then?
I understand you are a client of the Handclasp House Matrimonial Bureau.
I was, but I got fixed up.
Oh, Henry.
At first shot?
No, I'm not that easy to please.
Oh, Henry.
How many?
I don't see what the hell it's got to do with you. But it so happens there were two others. One had been looking for somebody to put her into a book. I put her on the next bloody bus. Then there was some bint who wanted to bear a beautiful child, without taking her knickers off. God, this damn country's full of walking middle-class fantasies. It's got no loins anymore. Bread!
Sorry, Henry.
Did either of your earlier applicants happen to be called Reckitt or Bannister?
Tomato and Pilchard.
Yes, Henry.
What?
A Miss Reckitt or a Mrs. Bannister?
Never heard of either of them. Who are they, anyway?
They are, or were, two of your fellow subscribers to that matrimonial agency. Both women now appear to be missing.
Well, I haven't lost them.
Oh, Henry.
Tea!
Yes, sorry.
You say you're a professional writer?
That's right.
In that case, perhaps you wouldn't mind obliging me with a sample.
What? Of urine?
Oh, Henry.
No, sir, I was thinking not so much in terms of original compositions as of a simple specimen of handwriting. I'd settle for The Fox Jumped Over the Lazy Dog, for instance.
Or The Inquisitive Copper Vanished Up His Own arsehole.
That would do just as nicely, sir. Ah, here's a piece of paper and a pen.
What's the idea, anyway?
To use an old cliché, I'm asking you to help us eliminate you from our inquiries.
But that's bloody ridiculous.
You never associate with women?
Look, I'm a writer, Inspector. Of course I associate, as you call it. Connect up. Charge the battery. Absorb. I've got to feed my own parturition. Don't you see? It's like a furnace.
Of course, I'm quite fond of reading myself, when I've nothing better to do. I think John Buchan's stuff is awfully good, don't you?
John... Oh, here. Right, there.
Ah, let me see, sir. Ah, The Fox Jumped Over the Lazy Dog. That'll do nicely. Yes, I can leave you in peace, sir. Our suspect has a much stronger hand than that. More literate altogether.
I didn't do any better with Rowley.
Not villain material either.
I think he's a bit simple. He goes in for competitions. Hundreds of them. There were papers all over his front room with bits cut out. Actually, he thought I'd come to tell him he'd won some tomato soup thing. They would give him a holiday for 4 in the West Indies or somewhere. As soon as he answered the door, he dashed back inside and brought me 3 empty tins and said, Vigo vegetables for vigour. I felt a proper twat.
You disabused him, of course.
Well, not straight away, actually. I remembered what you'd said about being tactful.
Tact should not be confused with mendacity, Sergeant.
Mendacity?
Telling lies.
Oh, I didn't tell him any lies. I just said that I was very sorry, but I didn't seem able to put my hand on the Why I Always Use Vigo Soup slogan that he'd submitted. And could he let me have a copy?
I see.
Well, it did seem an opportunity for showing initiative.
How did you know about the slogan?
I guessed.
I see. So what did he give you?
Here.
I go with Vigo because Vigo soups are the stuff for the troops. I do hope that your entry was a bit better than that. Well, I shall have to see Mrs. Staunch again. I don't know how many clients she has, but it looks as though we shall just have to work through the lot.
I had a terrible thought in Leicester Avenue, Governor.
Steady.
Yeah, well, you said there are records of all these people like Mrs. Bannister and so on in the office there. I don't expect the place is all that difficult to get into. Suppose somebody broke in and jotted down a few names and then wrote to them afterwards. I mean, he wouldn't need to become a customer himself, would he?
That is a terrible thought, Sid. Instead of a few dozen suspects nicely docketed with addresses provided, we now have the entire male population to choose from.
Oh, sorry, Governor.
Oh, Sid. You look like a man who's flicked away a cherry stone and derailed an express train. It's a brilliant idea.
Oh,
it may be simpler to go about things in a different way. If we stop chasing round after the hunter and keep watch on the quarry instead, we'll probably stand a much better chance of nabbing him.
You think he'll have another go, then?
Unless he's moved on, yes. There invariably enters an element of habit into these things, Sid, and it isn't as if the profits so far have justified retirement. Purbright? Right-o, put her through. Talk of the devil, Mrs. Staunch.
Ooh.
Hello, Mrs. Staunch. How can I help you? Oh. When? Right. Yes. Now, straight away. Now, don't touch anything. Leave everything just as it is. I'll be over straight away. Come on, Sid.
Where are we going?
Handclasp House Matrimonial Agency. I reckon you must be a flipping clairvoyant. Somebody's broken in. It's been burgled.
Oh,
it's so upsetting, Inspector.
Oh, being burgled always is, Mrs. Staunch. Still, as far as you're aware, nothing's missing.
Not as far as I can see, but the window catch has been broken and all the paintwork scratched, and then it's obviously been left open all night, and the rain's blown in and drenched the carpet. Look, it's just saturated.
Oh, very distressing.
I feel sort of, well, violated.
Yes. Never nice to think that some stranger's been going through your things. Now, Mrs. Staunch, if you'll excuse us, we'll just get on with our jobs and find out what we can. Fingerprints and so forth. Take some photographs.
But I have to go out. I don't open on Thursdays. I came in to forward any mail.
Well, you can leave us here and not worry, Mrs. Staunch. We are the police, after all.
But everything here is confidential.
Not to the burglar, it isn't.
Oh, dear.
Don't worry, Mrs. Staunch. We shan't be going through the files. You have my word as a gentleman. Just conducting an investigation into the burglary.
Oh, very well. I suppose I can trust you.
Very kind of you to say so.
I'm late already.
That's all right. We'll lock everything up.
Oh, very well. Goodbye, Inspector Purbright. Sergeant.
Ma'am.
Oh, dear.
Right, Sid. Let's get those files out.
But you said...
I don't care what I said. At her age, she should know better than to trust a gentleman.
What was that you said about mendacity?
I want to know what ladies are in those files and potentially at risk. If this blighter has murdered the other two and made off with their money, we've got to stop him getting a hat-trick. Now, these are the ladies' files.
Not that many.
No. Only about a dozen. Less than I thought. Half each, right?
What are we looking for?
Oh, just the recent ones. Last 6 months. And look especially under means.
Ah, right. Now then, means. This one says, I've always managed very well on the old age pension.
Right, she's out then. Ah, here's one. Rose Prentice, 58, divorcee. Describes her occupation as stock breeding and farm management. Hobbies, riding, shooting and dog showing. Probably a friend of the Chief Constable. Personal appearance. Just said she's got a good seat. She's crossed out means altogether. Probably means she's got land and he's going to hold on to it. The quality she looks for in a man would have to be strong, energetic, used to stud work, and willing to muck out. No, don't think she's the disappearing sort, really.
I think I've got it, Gov.
What's that, then?
This one. The last one, as it happens. Lucilla Edith Cavell Teatime. Cripes, what a name. No wonder she wants to change it.
Go on.
Oh, she's certainly got the means. Stockbroker, everything. And she sounds a right featherbrain. I love communing with nature and absolutely anything to do with the sea. Whew, dead cert for our men, I'd say. Expect he'll be a retired sea captain for this one. Lucilla Edith Cavell Teatime. Oh, Lord.
At least it's memorable. That should help you a bit, Sid.
Me?
Yes, you are hereby assigned to her. Now, let's have a look. Admits to about 50. Staying at the Roebuck, so Jim Maddox might be a help to you. Oh, and there's that Totty who used to fancy you, the one in the tap.
Phyllis Blow.
Oh, I don't know her name, but once seen, never forgotten. Anyway, how you get in tow of Miss Teatime in the first place is up to you. What I want is a report of where she goes and, more important, whom she meets. Do you think you can do that?
Oh, I don't see why not. She can't trot round much if she's all that old.
What do you mean, all that old?
You said she was 50.
That doesn't mean she's deaf with failing eyesight. I'm asking you to follow this lady unobtrusively, not like a porter in a geriatric ward.
She'll not spot me. But why do we have to follow her? Can't you sort of confide in her and get her to let us know what happens? I mean, it would save a lot of duplication.
She's probably a pretty timid soul, remember. We couldn't say anything to her without letting on that it might be a crook she's going to meet. Even if she agreed to help us, she'd be too nervous to be of any use. You know how shy these sheltered old biddies are.
Whoa!
My game again, I think.
Yeah, I thought you said you never played dominoes before.
I said I'd never played dominoes with you before.
Well, bugger me.
I've never seen the like, and that's a fact.
Bloody Olympic standard, eh?
You're a girl and a half, Miss Teatime.
Oh, Lucy, please.
Well then, you're a girl and a half, Lucy.
That's another large one you owe me, Walter, my lad.
My pleasure. Another large scotch for my friend Lucy here, if you please, Fred.
Time, lady and gentlemen, please.
It is always like time.
It's 3 o'clock.
Old crusty crutch.
It's for my fruit, for Lucy.
Well, as it's for you, Miss Teatime, 1 large scotch with Walter there. But I shall thank you all to be drunk up in 10 minutes, please.
He's mean with his bloody minutes, his old friend.
Well, anyway.
My considered opinion of old Fred is that he would twist the skin off a part.
Oh, yes.
Lonelyheart 4122 by Colin Watson has been dramatised in 6 parts by Christopher Dennis. John Rowe played Inspector Purbright, Linda Gardner, Lucy Teatime, Paul Downing, Sergeant Love, and Anne Rye, Mrs. Staunch. Keith Clifford was Capper, Malcolm Rayburn, Rusk, and Neville Barber, Singleton. Victoria Finney was the receptionist, and Judy Holt, Phylis. Lonelyheart 4122 was produced for BBC North by Tony Cliff.
You want to do what, Sergeant Love? Follow one of my guests?
Well, of course, that'd be the layman's term, Mr. Maddox. It's what we call keeping under surveillance. Orders of Inspector Purbright.
Well, I appreciate you're only doing your duty, Sergeant. Always happy to help the boys in blue.
Oh, this'll be strictly a plain clothes exercise, obviously.
Of course, I shall be happy to assist in any way I can. I mean, your Chief Constable's a very good customer of mine. What with bringing all his committees here, the Yorkshire Terrier fanciers, not to mention the Rotary. I do hope, however, that Miss Teatime isn't, not in any way, that she hasn't committed...
Oh, no.
What with her having run up quite a bill. I mean, she seems such a very respectable lady.
I'm sure she is.
Well, it's so easy to be deceived in people. One minute they're putting £50 into the blind stocking in the cocktail bar, and the next they might be burning lavatory seats in the bedroom grate.
Is she about, by the way, Miss Teatime? Could I have a discreet look at her?
She's out at the moment. Goes out every morning and every afternoon. Very fond of walking. But if you'd like to come back, come to the dining room just before 7. She always comes in for her dinner at 7 on the dot. I'll point her out to you.
Right. See you at 7.
And, Sergeant...
yes?
Mum's the word, eh?
That's right.
I'll not let you down.
7, then.
You don't have to worry, you know. My lips are sealed.
Are you ready to order yet?
No. Not yet. No.
Well, you're taking long enough to make your mind up. It's not a sitting room, you know. It's a flipping dining room for eating in.
Well, I'm going to. It's just that...
Well, I mean, if you just want to sit and buy now, you can go outside and do it in park. It's not raining.
Look, I'm just...
It's all right, Maisie. I'll see to the gentleman. Off you go.
Oh, suit yourself.
Now then, sir. That's her. Just come in. Sitting down at table 7.
Right.
Got her, have you? Lady in blue.
Yes, okay.
Look, she's picking up her menu. The one on her own.
For crying out... I've got her. She's the only woman in the room, except for the waitress.
Is she? Oh, aye.
I'll have the braised steak, please.
Soup, sir?
No, thank you. No soup. Just the braised steak.
Oh, very good, sir. Mum's the word, eh? I'll not let you down.
Maisie?
Yeah, what you want?
I think I'll have the braised steak too.
Right.
Maisie?
What?
That young man sitting over there looks hardly more than a boy.
Where about him?
Don't you find him rather interesting?
No.
Oh. I'd have thought that someone with your sparkle and joie de vivre would have found him quite fascinating.
It's all right.
Judging character is one of my hobbies, you know.
Oh, aye?
Yes. At this distance, I should say he's young, eager, capable within certain narrow limits, persistent, basically good-natured.
I'll get you meat.
And really rather sweet. For a policeman.
What's this, Sid? Corn plasters at your age?
I tell you, Governor, my feet are falling apart. That woman thinks nothing of covering 10 or 15 miles. In and out and up and down and round about. She just seems to stroll, but she keeps strolling, that's the trouble. How much longer have I got to keep this up for, Governor?
We'd best keep an eye on her until we've some clearer idea of who this Bluebeard is, and where to find him.
Couldn't somebody else take a spell?
Well, trouble is, there's only Pook.
Say no more. Well, here we go. I'd best get round to Nelson Street and take my station outside Ball's. She comes out of that hotel front door at 9:30 every morning on the dot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you sitting there, Miss Teatime. You're usually straight off out after breakfast. Can I get you some more coffee?
No, thank you, dear. I must be off for my walk as soon as I've read my letter. I wonder if you'd mind doing something for me.
Of course, Miss Teatime.
I wonder if you'd just have a look outside the hotel, just across the street there, by the department store.
Yeah?
Just to see if there's a man standing there. Very young-looking, pinkish sort of face, rather attractive in a juvenile sort of way.
I'll go and have a look.
Thank you so much. Now then, Lonelyheart 4122, let's see what you have to say to me this time. Delighted that you've agreed to meet me. We'll weigh anchor at once. Garden of Remembrance at St. Lawrence's Church at 11 bells precisely. I am sure I shall recognise you on instinct, but so as not to accost a perfect stranger, take the seat nearest the water fountain and have in your hand some flower or piece of greenery. You will spot me at once by my ugly old quarter-deck mug. Can't wait to hear about your secret ambition. Must close. Have to board a train for the big city. Time tied, directors' meetings, etc. Yours impatiently, 4122. P.S. It's Jack to my friends. Directors' meetings, eh?
Miss Teatime?
Yes, dear.
You were quite right. There is a young man outside Ball's, just as you described. Seems to be waiting for somebody.
Thank you, dear. Tell me, is there a back way out?
Oh, yes. Through the kitchen.
Thank you very much. That'll make a nice change.
Not at all.
Yes. I think I shall go without my chaperone today.
Ahoy there!
Oh! Are you Lonelyheart 4122?
Jack Trelawney, at your service.
How do you do, Mr. Trelawney?
And now, Miss 347. How am I to call you? 3 for short?
I'm afraid that introductions have never been the happiest moments of my life. You see, my name happens to be Teatime.
Oh.
It really does.
Teatime? Well. But how refreshingly different. I like it. I really do. And your first name?
Lucy. Lucilla, actually, but I think that's a bit gothic.
Oh, Lucy will do very nicely indeed. Lucy Teatime, yes. Before we go any further, I must make a note of your address.
I put up at the Roebuck Hotel.
Jolly nice berth. What about your own home, though? Your proper home?
I suppose I haven't one, really. The house was so huge that it seemed pointless to hang on to it when Father passed away. I mean to say, imagine me trying to keep 27 bedrooms aired.
All those warming pans.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, with the sort of ridiculous prices people are absolutely fighting to pay for Elizabethan manor houses in Berkshire, it seemed foolish not to turn it to good account.
You sold it then?
It's going through. Who wants 9 bathrooms anyway?
Oh, I'd rather have 9 bean rows and a hive for the honey bee.
Yates! Do you live in the country, Mr. Trelawney?
More or less. Actually, I'm rather a bird of passage at the moment, like you. My lonely hammock is slung temporarily in the billet of an old shipmate, who, as we speak, should be heaving to in Frisco Bay.
Goodness! I mean, I see. Have you any children?
Not to my knowledge, ma'am, as the Duke of Wellington used to say. No. No, I've never been spliced. I don't think it's fair on a woman being tied up in port while her husband rolls around the world.
Of course, when his sailing days are over, that's different, isn't it?
So you want to settle down?
A little bit of terra firma. A cottage. Slippers by a real old-fashioned fire. Oh, they sound sentimental, I suppose. But you'd be surprised how often they come to mind when you're rounding the bight or keeping your eyes skinned for bergs away off Iceland or somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
But you don't want to listen to my little romantic fancies. Tell me something about yourself.
I'm not sure what I can tell you, really. My life has been quite uneventful. Rather too sheltered, if anything. You know, this is quite a breakaway for me. Poor father's accountant. Well, he's mine now, I suppose. He was most disapproving when I said I was going to leave everything to him for a while and take a little look round. I had to promise him that I would only draw on my personal account while I was away. And I shan't get into much trouble on that, believe me.
Not while you've me to keep an eye on you. Now then, how about some chow?
Oh, chow would be most acceptable.
I'm ever so sorry, Governor. I didn't mean to lose her. Can't think how she got onto me.
There isn't much you could have done about it, as far as I can see. One doesn't expect ladies of gentle breeding to go nipping out through kitchens.
I can't watch both sides at once.
Hardly.
You could put someone else to watch the back.
The trouble is, as I said before, there's only Pook to spare.
Well, you could put him at the back. As a kind of stopper, I mean. If he looked really obviously a policeman...
Which he does.
She might think he was the only one, and nip back again to the front. So to speak.
Well, we can but try. Mind you, there's one bit of encouragement to be drawn. She must have had some good reason to dodge you on this particular occasion. It does rather look as if somebody's taken the bait.
Don't come onto the platform with me, my dear Lucy. Draughty places, forlorn. Don't want to spoil a perfect day.
It has been a perfect day, thank you, Jack. I really can't think when I've enjoyed myself so much.
And we'll meet again tomorrow, same place, same time.
Oh, yes, please. If it's not too dreary for you.
Dreary? Good night, Lucy Teatime. You've brought joy to the heart of this old tar.
Oh, Jack! Oh, God.
The lady's asking if she can see someone about that Miss Reckitt. Will you have a word with her, sir?
Sure in, will you? Come in. Thank you, Pook.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mrs...
my name is Huddleston. Miss Huddleston.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you. There was something in the paper about a friend. I thought you might tell me what they think is... I mean, it's something about being missing. Is that right?
You're a friend of Miss Reckitt, are you, Miss Huddleston?
That's right. Yes, I've known her for years.
And you live here in Flaxborough?
No, Derby. But I saw about her in the paper.
And you're anxious?
Well, of course, I didn't know what to think when... I got them cutting in my handbag some... Ah, yes, here it is.
Thank you.
You see... Martha and I don't get together very often nowadays, not like we used to, but we do write to each other every now and then and keep each other up to date with the news. She tells me everything that's been going on. Well, as I say, we're ever such old friends, so that's only natural. But the very last letter she wrote...
when was that?
Oh, a couple of months ago, I should think. I've got that in here somewhere as well. It isn't dated, actually. January, perhaps. Anyway, as I was saying, this last letter of hers... Ah, here it is. It's quite a surprise, knowing Martha, I mean. You see, she'd met this man. Wait a minute, yes, Giles, something or other. She doesn't give his other name, and she's actually talking about marrying him.
That surprised you?
Certainly it did. I mean, I hadn't any inkling that Martha had any ideas in that line. There's just one thing that doesn't surprise me. He's a clergyman, apparently. Martha was always dead soft on curates.
Does she say where this man's church was supposed to be?
No. I'll let you read this in a minute, but there's nothing in it about that.
I ask because inquiries do happen to have been made of the local church authorities, and there's no unmarried clergyman in any of the parishes round about who admits even to having heard of Miss Reckitt.
Oh. So you've been taking this... disappearance business seriously, then?
Very seriously, Miss Huddleston, I assure you.
Oh, dear. Well, you'd better see if there's anything there that'll help. I warn you, some of it's a bit sick-making. Oh, no, that's very wrong of me. It's just that she's never written that sort of thing before. Oh, no, poor Martha.
Mostly just pleasantries. Ah, yes. And now I must reveal my great secret. If you were here, of course, you would see it for yourself, or rather the shining outward evidence of it. 5 little diamonds all in a row, and on the 3rd finger of this very hand, lying beside the paper as I write. What do they spell, these 5 pretty stones? G-I-L-E-S.
You see what I mean?
Oh, Elsie, he is such an admirable figure of a man, and he has shown me the quite breathtaking little cottage that he plans to be ours. From a distance, it is not yet unoccupied. And guess where it is, Elsie? No, I am not going to tell you. Oh. Suppose I were just to say, catch a crab. Where would you think of? Talking of the cottage, how Glub?
Oh, here, let me. I'm used to her writing.
It is a bit, well, ornate.
How glad I am now not to have touched any of Uncle Dan's money that time when I had a fancy for a car. If we had to wait for the grant that has been approved by the church commissioners, I am sure somebody else would beat us to such a wonderful snip, as Giles calls it, most unclerically, I'm afraid. Now I must close, as I have an important appointment with a certain gentleman, your ever affectionate friend Martha. Not much use, is it?
Rather less illuminating than I could have wished. There are 1 or 2 interesting points, though. This cottage, now.
Well, she doesn't say where it is.
No, she's offered you a clue.
Oh, that's typical of Martha. She loves making mysteries of things.
But this one is decidedly odd. I catch a crab. Does it mean anything to you?
No, I'm afraid not.
It sounds rather like something to do with rowing. You know, boats.
I've never rowed a boat in my life. I mean, I'm hardly built for it, am I?
And, well, what about Miss Reckitt? Did you ever go on a river with her?
No, don't remember anything about boats or rivers.
Well, never mind. But I should like you to keep having a go at it in your mind. Something might occur to you.
I'll do my best, I promise. Anything I can do to help. Poor Martha.
Now, another thing. Can you say anything about this money she mentions?
Well, only that it was left her by this Uncle Dan of hers, £500.
Well, if you'll leave me your address, Miss Huddleston, I promise to keep you informed if and when the whereabouts of Miss Reckitt become known.
Oh, thank you, Inspector. I'd better be off to catch my train. You know, I don't at all like the sound of that clergyman.
You don't?
Partly prejudice, actually. I've never cared for clergymen very much. Those awful black modesty vest things, and a smell of candles and wardrobes. But Martha was soppy about them.
Do you know of any particular clergyman she was friendly with?
Well, there is one, but I'm not sure if he counts as a proper clergyman. They do know each other. As a matter of fact, he's a young man from my own hometown. I come from Transbury, you know.
Not Mr. Leaper?
That's him. He hangs out at some tin-pot place in Northgate. I remember him as a kid in Transbury. Queer lad with a nose like a carrot.
The Reverend Leaper.
I wouldn't place too much reliance on anything Len says, mind. That is, if you were thinking of...
No, I was merely wondering whether there might be some connection. His proximity to Handclasp House.
Pardon?
Nothing, really. We're still very much at the exploratory stage, I'm afraid.
It's this Giles person you want to be looking for, and that's for certain.
You may well be right.
Oh, dear. Well, nothing else I can do at the moment. Poor Martha.
Goodbye, Miss Huddleston. You'll not forget now about catching crabs, will you?
I'll keep thinking about it.
Lucy!
Here I am. I'm not late, am I?
No, I arrived a little early today. Business before pleasure. The sooner I can get done with people like bank managers, the brighter the rest of the day looks.
They are a bit of a bore. Not that it matters very much to me. I never seem to need large sums, so I'm quite happy to leave everything tied up in securities, whatever they are.
And do you really not know anything about them?
Only that I can't get at them without a fearful amount of bother. A trip to London, for one thing. I have to sign things in person on the spot, and then there's always a tiny glass of Madeira afterwards, and everybody's referred to as Mr. James or Mr. Charles. Oh, you've no idea.
Oh, but I have, my dear. One of my own companies is just like that. And would you believe it? Nobody can cash a single share without filling in a special requisition, which has to be signed by a clerk in holy orders, the headmaster of Eton, and the editor of the Times.
Marvellous. Do they call him the headmaster?
Pardon?
Nothing.
How about a stroll by the river to work up an appetite,
What a lovely idea.
What do you mean? You both lost her?
It wasn't me who lost her.
But I thought it was your job to follow her.
She went out the wrong way again.
Well, that's right. Straight at me. And I hadn't any instructions.
You were supposed to intimidate her, Mr. Pook. You were the stopper. You were supposed to stand at the back and frighten her in Sid's direction. Why didn't you?
I did, sir. Tried everything. Looked menacing, you know, sort of loomed at her. Took out my ID and looked at it as if I was trying to identify her from a photo, but she wouldn't be frightened. Just smiled at me and gave me a little wave and walked off, straight past me.
And you let her go?
Oh, no, sir. Of course not. I followed her, sir.
Well?
Well...
You lost her?
Well, no. More like she lost me.
She lost you?
Ladies' underwear.
No, Sid. No, she didn't. I was still with her in the women's... in the lingerie. She was in there for hours. I was that embarrassed, pretending to be looking at things. I mean, what can I look at? And the assistant's giggling and making remarks. What is a fetishist, sir?
Get on with it.
Well, it was the lift. It was packed. She was at the back and I was scores in at the front. She let everybody get off, then she nipped back in. I run down the stairs, but it didn't come down. She must have pressed the button again for up, and then nipped down the back stairs and out.
Did she indeed? Well, we can't do anything about that now. Thank you, Mr. Pook. You did your best.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Sid, this Miss Teatime seems to be quite an interesting character.
Huh.
I've been thinking again about a suggestion of yours. About taking Miss Teatime into our confidence. On her showing during the last couple of days, I think she's capable of being very helpful. At the same time, she'll have to be warned of the risk she's running.
So, you're going to level with her, then?
Yes. I think I'll call in at the Roebuck for a spot of breakfast in the morning.
Oh, Jack, this place is so lovely. And so pleasant to eat out of doors, too, with the boats passing on the river and not a blemish on the landscape as far as the horizon. What is it called?
The Riverside Rest.
The Riverside Rest. So appropriate.
Oh, I love the country. If you want to leave your doors open, you can, and there's nothing worse than good fresh air can get in.
Of course, there's an even more secure refuge.
And where's that, Lucy?
You ought to know, Jack.
Tell me.
A boat? A little ship?
Oh, but there are lots of practical difficulties, you know. You'd have to have a crew. Oh, and my word, you'd have to be careful there. And then there are things like, port dues and so on. Oh, and navigation. Have you ever thought about navigation?
Oh, I don't mean a big boat. It's what I believe they call in the trade a 40-footer that I had in mind.
I say, you have picked up the lingo, haven't you? Do you know, I think you've been up to something.
I suppose I shall have to tell you. But you mustn't laugh. I won't have you laughing at me, even if I am a poor landlubber.
Nelson's honour. Go on.
Well, it started with Father, really. He used to keep a very nice cabin cruiser. Of course, during his illness, it wasn't used, and then when he passed on, and there was all that business of the estate being settled, I really wasn't in the mood to think about things like pleasure boats, So I let it go to one of Father's old business friends, who had often sailed with him, and who was very keen to have it. I knew what the boat was worth, because it was in the valuation at £2,300.
Really?
But I also knew that Mr. Cambridge wasn't terribly well off, so... well, I made him take it for £500. He was quite pathetically pleased and insisted on giving me an undertaking that if he ever wished to part with the boat, it would, what's the word? Revert? It would revert to me for the same money.
I see.
Anyway, I received a letter from Mr. Cambridge's daughter. He's in hospital, poor man, and terribly worried about the silly promise. And strictly between ourselves, he needs the money desperately. I wrote at once and told her to sell the boat for as much as it would fetch, but for not a penny under 2,000.
2,000?
And now back has come that dear, foolish woman's reply. No, I must have the boat or no one else will. Final. Flat. Now, can you understand how anybody could be so stubborn?
No.
Mind you, I must admit that I find the temptation almost irresistible. When I look out there at that water, I can just picture the Lucy. Did I tell you he named it after me? Gliding along with that funny little thing on the mast, going round and round.
Do you mean it's got radar?
I don't know what it's called, but it's something to do with being able to steer in the fog. Anyway, she really is a beautiful little ship, and there's nothing I'd love so much as to...
Yes?
Oh.
I do believe that you've let out that little secret ambition of yours. It's true, isn't it? You want to cast off.
Well, no. It's impossible. It would be like taking advantage of a sick old man.
Oh, come now. You mustn't look at it like that. These old chaps are very, very proud. They wouldn't be kind to go against what they believe to be right.
Dear Jack, you are so masculine and sensible about these problems. I suppose that comes of your having to deal with, I don't know, storms and mutinies and all that sort of thing. I don't know why I've told you all this. You see, there's nothing I can do about it in any case.
Simple, my dear. Send Mr. Cambridge the money. Ease his conscience.
I'm afraid you're wrong. It's not simple. I just don't have the money.
How long would it take? A week?
Oh, no, longer. Perhaps 3. And by then, well, would be too late.
How do you mean too late? The man's not dying, surely.
Not dying, but in a serious condition in quite another sense. Something called a distress warrant has been applied for by some people to whom he owes money, apparently. Miss Cambridge says that unless the boat is sold within the next week, it will be taken from him.
Good Lord, we can't have that. I mean, you can't,
But what am I supposed to do?
Oh, suppose that I were to buy the boat.
You'd never let it go.
No, wait, though. Suppose, as I say, that I were to buy it, but in your name.
Jack, I couldn't ask you to do anything of the kind. You don't even know these people.
I know you, Lucy, and I think I'm a fair judge of character.
Oh.
And what would you say if you saw the Lucy bearing down the river here, with me at the wheel, eh? Would you be ready to board her, for better or worse?
Oh, Jack!
As a matter of fact, that's just about what I was going to ask you in any case today. About us, I mean. Sailing in convoy.
Oh, Jack!
There, old girl. Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret. Do you know why I just happen to have £500 handy for the doing of good turns to old gentlemen with motorboats?
Jack!
I'll tell you why. Now, being a very confident sort of cove, I said to myself, as soon as I saw you, that dear lady is going to be your lawful wedded. And as such, she will want to live in a little cottage in the country. Of course, I didn't know then that you were a sailor. No, a cottage, I said to myself, is what that charming woman will want, and you, Jack, know the very place.
Really?
Really, the said cottage is for sale, for a deposit of £500. So, now you know the little piece of business that brought me into town so early-o.
You've paid this deposit already?
Not exactly. The cash won't be available until tomorrow. But I came to a firm understanding with the agent. The channel's clear, old girl. Absolutely clear.
Oh, Jack, how wonderful it sounds. But the money for the boat, I mean, how can you use it and still pay the deposit?
It so happens the estate agent is an old friend of mine. That's how I got to hear of the place, as a matter of fact. He'll be quite happy to reserve it for me on the strength of my post-dated cheque.
Post-dated?
That's a cheque which is payable in, say, a month's time, when your money comes through. In the meantime, we go straight round to the bank and open a joint account. Lots of husbands and wives have them. It means that either person can draw cheques on it, you see? Then I'll transfer the 500 I was going to use for the deposit into that account, then you can write your cheque for the boat, and it will be drawn on the joint account. All shipshape and Bristol fashion. Do you see?
Well, yes, I do. Oh, Jack!
Then I shall take your cheque down to poor old Mr. Cambridge and sail the Lucy back here. What do you say to that, me hearty?
Oh, Jack, you're so...
Yes?
So good at managing things.
In Lonelyheart 4122 by Colin Watson, John Rowe played Inspector Purbright, Linda Gardner, Miss Teatime, John Branwell, the Commander, and Daphne Oxenford, Miss Huddleston. Paul Downing was Sergeant Love, Peter Rylands, Maddox, Susan Sheridan, Maisie, and Victoria Finney, the Receptionist. Lonelyheart 4122 has been dramatised by Christopher Dennis and directed for BBC North by Tony Cliff.
Not made much progress with your soundproofing yet, Mr. Leaper?
Ah, Inspector Purbright, fear not. It shall be done. The Lord will provide. Brother Barlow, the builder, says that he hopes to come by a lorry load of what is known as expanded polystyrene very shortly now.
Just so long as it hasn't fallen off the back of a lorry load. I happen to know Brother Barlow rather well.
And what brings you to our mission, Inspector Purbright? Not more complaints about the sounds of joy?
For once, no. Tell me, Len, I wonder if you can help me.
Fire away, brother.
Do you know a woman called Reckitt, Miss Martha Reckitt?
Yes. Think I do.
How well do you know her?
I used to talk to her sometimes and try to offer her comfort. And tidings, brother, tidings.
Have you seen her recently?
No, not of late, I should say. No, definitely not of late.
You don't happen to know of any friendships she might have struck up in the last couple of months or so? There's been some mention of a clergyman, first name Giles.
Oh, of a Giles I know nothing.
Or a clergyman so-called.
Nix, brother, nix.
We understand that Miss Reckitt subscribed to your neighbouring establishment, Handclasp House, the marriage bureau.
That's right. I advised her to.
You, Len?
I did, brother. And within the scripture, multiply, remember?
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
Do you know Sister Staunch?
Well, I have met her.
A goodly woman. I'm glad, brother, to help where I can.
Would you say that your relationship with the marriage bureau is close? Do you put much business her way?
I'm not on a commission, brother, if that's what you mean.
No, of course not. And do you know if Miss Reckitt found a friend through this agency?
I expect so. She is very deserving.
She may not have deserved what she got from Handclasp House, though, Len. Didn't you know that Miss Reckitt had disappeared?
I did not.
Don't you read the papers? I mean, it used to be your line, didn't it? Journalism?
Before I received the call. Now the word of the Lord is all the reading matter I require.
Ah. Well, Miss Reckitt met up with some clergyman called Giles, who was going to marry her and set her up in some country cottage or other. Since then, neither she nor her uncle's legacy to her have been seen. We have reason to believe that someone is making use of the marriage bureau to ensnare middle-aged ladies with means, get his hands on their money and disappear.
And what happens to the ladies?
Once he's got his hands on their money, you tell me.
I tremble to think, brother.
So do I, Len. So do I.
And if I could just have a sample of the lady's signature here?
Oh, here?
That's it.
And there we have it. A joint bank account. Our first voyage together. Commander J.C.H. Trelawney, R.N. and Miss Lucilla Edith Cavell, Teatime. I might say, Mr.
Beach.
Mr. Beach, that we shall soon be back to alter the names on this account to Trelawney and Trelawney. Hey, Lucy?
Oh, Jack, you're embarrassing me in front of Mr. Beach.
Thank you, Mr. Beach. I'll be in first thing tomorrow with my cheque for £500. Then I set off on my travels, eh, Lucy? An errand for a lady, Mr. Beach. For a special lady. A commission more precious to me than that which I bear from Her Majesty.
Oh, Jack.
You see how it is, Mr. Lintz. What they call surveillance is that.
Oh, well, fancy.
First, it was a sergeant. Plain clothes, mind, but you can always tell, can't you? Following her, round the clock, mind. Hiding in my cleaning cupboard in the hall, or loitering outside the hotel entrance. Then slipping in behind her like a shadow whenever she set foot out the door.
Amazing. You don't expect it, do you? Not in Flaxborough.
Then there was this constable lurking outside the kitchens. Built like a bull. Evil-looking. Terrified the waitresses. Gave the chef a breakdown. I mean, you know what these frogs are like.
Highly strung.
Oh, don't I know it. Oh, I'm worried, Mr. Lintz.
Well, you would be. I would be.
Now it's the inspector himself. Large as life. Having breakfast in my dining room and watching her every spoonful of porridge. I mean, he's not one of my regulars for breakfast.
I thought not.
Not like you, Mr. Lintz.
Thought I'd never seen him here before.
He'd never been here before. Oh, I'm really worried, Mr. Lintz.
You must be.
You see, she's run up one hell of a bill. I mean, she owes more at the bar than even the fertiliser reps.
Dicey.
Oh, dicey, all right. You're telling me it's dicey. I'm not going to stand for it.
I wouldn't.
I shan't. I'm going to make up a bill straight away.
Good idea. You best get a move on. He's going over to her.
Flipping heck. I don't want him arresting her before she's settled up.
Miss Teatime?
Yes?
I wonder if I might talk with you for a moment. My name is Purbright, Detective Inspector Purbright.
I am pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Purbright. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Would you like me to ask the girl to bring you some coffee?
That's very kind of you, but I'd rather not have any more.
I was expecting you to come to my table, actually.
How so?
Looking at you across the dining room, I was able to tell two things about you. One, that you found the coffee disgusting. It isn't very nice, is it? And two, that you were waiting your opportunity to come and accost me. Most charmingly, I might add.
Thank you.
And what is it you wish to talk to me about, Inspector?
In the first place, I must apologise for the intrusion.
Not at all.
Oh, but yes. You see, the intrusion has gone more deeply than you are perhaps aware. My appearance this morning is, so to speak, the tip of the iceberg. A watchful eye has been kept on you for a part of the time you've been in Flaxborough.
It all sounds very intriguing, Mr. Purbright.
There has been much concern felt here over the disappearance of two local women. They were perfectly respectable and, as far as I'm aware, unknown to each other. We don't know if any harm has befallen them, but if not, it seems quite incredible that neither has got in touch with any of her relatives or friends. One factor in common to both these cases, Miss Teatime. The women had registered not long before their disappearance with a matrimonial agency here in the town called Handclasp House. I'm not going to be obtuse about this. We do know that you have approached the same organisation.
That is quite true.
And naturally we hope that whatever has transpired will have a happy outcome for you. On the other hand, I think you ought to be on your guard.
Against disappearing?
Both the women who did had recently been successful in finding companionship through this agency. The coincidence cannot be ignored. We think it was the same man in each case, and that he was responsible for whatever has happened to them.
But you must not stretch coincidence too far, must you, Inspector? Are you suggesting that this hard-working gentleman has now turned his attention to me?
I am suggesting nothing, but I believe that a plausible and dangerous man is using the agency as a means of finding victims. If that sounds a trifle melodramatic, I'm sorry. It just happens to be the only explanation for what has been going on.
Then why have you not found him?
Because plausible and dangerous men are also, as a rule, very clever.
Someone must have seen him in the company of these ladies, surely.
No one who had reason to be observant. The accounts we've been able to obtain are sketchy, to say the least.
You have no indication at all of his identity, then?
No.
I'm sorry if I seem to be cross-examining you, Inspector. You must see, though, that a mere general suspicion could have terribly unjust consequences. Let me be frank. I have met a gentleman through this bureau you're talking about. He impresses me as being kind and honourable. In due course I shall doubtless learn more about his background, but the relationship is scarcely likely to prosper if I must now regard him as a police suspect.
Of course, I see your point. And if I may say so, you certainly don't impress me as a gullible or incapable person. The fact remains that you... how shall I put it? Your qualifications are exactly those which we could expect to attract the attention of the man we are looking for. For instance, I believe you are not without means.
That is so.
You are also a newcomer to the district and living on your own.
As you can see, Mr. Purbright.
Yes, well, I don't have to spell this out for you, do I? No policeman in similar circumstances would be doing his duty if he failed to warn you.
Of course not, my dear Inspector. I appreciate it, but I must beg you not to worry.
I shall try not to.
Good. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Are you sure you will not have some coffee?
Quite sure, thank you. But there is one way in which you can be specifically helpful.
Mm-hmm.
This gentleman you say you've met... Oh, what's his name, by the way?
I think, if you do not mind, Inspector, that I should keep that to myself for the time being.
Are you sure you're being wise?
Not unwise, I hope. Ethical, certainly.
As you wish. But at least you can tell me if you've received any letters from him.
Naturally. That is how these introductions are effected, you know.
Now, this is a photographic copy of part of a letter which, we are satisfied, was written by the man who made contact with the two missing women. Would you mind letting me see one of the letters you've received from your friend?
I should have no objection at all, Mr. Purbright, but there is not one here for you to see. They were simply formal meeting arrangements. I didn't keep them.
Oh, mightn't you be able to find something, though, Miss Teatime? Even an odd piece or two in a waste paper basket would be enough.
In a hotel, Mr. Purbright, one does not throw letters into a waste paper basket. One tears them up and consigns them to the toilet.
I see. Well, will you take a careful look at this writing and tell me if you notice any resemblance to what you can remember of your friends?
Quite different. Of that I am perfectly sure.
At least I seem to have been able to put your mind at rest.
Oh, but I was never anything else, Mr. Purbright. Not really.
Thank you for your time, Miss Teatime. I must be on my way.
Good morning, Inspector. So nice chatting to you.
Good morning to you, Inspector.
Good morning, Mr. Maddox.
Miss Teatime, I wonder if I might have a moment of your time.
Of course, Mr. Maddox. I'm having quite a little procession of visitors this morning.
It's just the little matter of
I
your...
wonder if I could interrupt you for a moment, Mr. Maddox. Do you happen to know if there is a decent car hire company here in Flaxborough?
Why, yes, there is.
Then I wonder if you would be so kind as to hire a vehicle for me. I always find it all so complicated.
Well, of course. But first, there's just this
And
little...
there's one other thing, Mr. Maddox.
Yes.
It seems so silly, but I thought I ought to let you know I'm being followed by the police.
What? Oh, surely not.
Oh, but there's no need to look so concerned. I'm quite accustomed to being, as they say, shadowed by the police.
But, well,
I thought I'd better mention it. These dear people are not invariably as unobtrusive as they and I would wish. And if they were to excite a little curiosity, it would only be natural.
Natural, yes.
I'm so glad you understand. Mind you, my own view is that I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself, but you will never persuade police commissioners that in England a woman can be rich and safe at the same time. Poor old Sir Arthur. I really think he pictures me as carrying the entire capital assets of Teatime Engineering around in my handbag.
No. Does it really?
Now, what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
Pardon?
Didn't you say there was a little matter?
Oh, no. No, nothing at all. I just wanted to be sure that you were comfortable, enjoying your stay. Anything further I can do for you?
I am very comfortable, thank you. I have everything I require.
Oh, good. Oh, that is good.
And you won't forget the car, will you? Here is my driving licence.
I'll see to it right away, Miss Teatime. Have it waiting for you outside within the hour. A nice, comfortable little car, I imagine.
No. Do you know, I think I'll live dangerously for once. I should like something sporty. Something fast.
Fast, Miss Teatime? How fast?
The fastest they have.
Very good, Miss Teatime.
Do you think it wise, though, Inspector Purbright, to leave this woman unattended? I mean, in the circumstances? I mean, it isn't as if you're any further along with finding out who this fellow is. Letting a respectable, well-off, middle-aged lady roam, unprotected, when he may be prowling the streets disguised as heaven knows what?
No, sir, I quite take your point, but do you think Deirdre could choose something other than my socks, sir?
What? Oh, that isn't Deirdre.
Isn't it?
No, you know Deirdre.
Yes, but...
Felicity, basket.
Thank you, sir. What I was about to say, sir, was that our previous attempts at keeping Miss Teatime under surveillance have only served to show that she cannot be kept under surveillance unless she wishes it. And she most emphatically does not.
And you're no further along with locating this cottage? Solving this catch-a-crab clue?
No, sir.
Or with obtaining an adequate description of this clergyman, cum novelist, cum whatever he's chosen to disguise himself as this time?
No, sir.
Well, not very good, is it, Inspector Purbright?
No, sir.
Of course. If you can't tell a Lincoln-bred Yorkshire Terrier from a Sussex, I can only say I'm not at all surprised. All the same, I'm very worried about this poor, helpless lady.
A thousand apologies, dear lady. I was prepared to find you flown.
Nonsense. I've only just arrived myself.
Excellent. In any case, I have a perfectly good excuse in my locker, or rather in ours, as it's a joint account. The money's paid in. 500 nice, shiny Jimmy-O goblins.
Jimmy-O goblins? My word! You are not one for wasting time, Mr. Trelawney.
Hello? Who's this talking to Mr. Trelawney?
Commander.
What? Pulling rank now, eh?
Jack.
I should jolly well think so. Now then, did you write that letter?
Yes. Here it is. I do hope it's all right. The cheque's in there as well. I have made it out to the daughter just in case there is some difficulty and Mr. Cambridge is dealing with it in hospital.
Very sensible.
Do let me read you what I've written, just to be sure it's all right.
Oh, I'm all ears.
Dear Evelyn, this is to introduce my good friend, Commander John Trelawney, who has kindly agreed to act on my behalf in the matter of the boat.
Yes.
He will hand you my cheque, which, as you will see, is for £500. I still wish you would let me make it a sum nearer the true value of the Lucy, or even half of it, but it seems that you and your father have made up your minds. Please give Commander Trelawney the receipt, and also the boat's manual, and any other documents, of which you will know more than I, and take him to the mooring. He is going to sail the Lucy here himself, a task for which I could scarcely have chosen anyone better qualified than a one-time naval officer. And he will wish, of course, to satisfy himself that she is in good condition for the voyage.
Yes.
I think perhaps there is nothing more to add, except perhaps the telephone number of my hotel, Flaxborough 2130, in case you wish to ring me about any details I've forgotten to mention. I do hope and pray that the money, ridiculously inadequate as of course it is, will be of some immediate use in easing your troubles.
Yes, indeed.
Yours sincerely, Lucilla.
I should say she's very lucky to have such a good friend.
Just as I am.
Now, how do I find this good lady?
Do you know Twickenham?
Oh, only as a rugger ground, I'm afraid. I used to go down there for the Navy matches whenever I happened to be ashore.
Oh, I do not think that would be very near where the Cambridges live. Their address is on the envelope, by the way. It is a rather nice old house in a place called the Turnills, number 8. It's not so much a street as a sort of close, with the river at the lower end. Ask anyone for the old part of Twickenham, and you should have no difficulty in finding it.
Is there a station handy?
Your best plan probably will be to go to Richmond Station and cross the river. It's a pleasant walk and not very far.
Fine.
When do you intend to go?
Tomorrow morning. There's a London train just before 10 bells.
I shall see you off.
Oh, you don't need to trail around, especially for me.
Oh, but I shall, Jack. I know you are going up by train, but I cannot help thinking of you as embarking on a voyage. After all, it will be a voyage back, a real one. Are you not afraid of storms? You must think of me, waiting here like Madame Butterfly. I wonder if there's a hilltop from which I can watch out for you.
Oh, one fine day.
Oh, it all seems like a dream.
Real enough, old girl.
It sleeps 4, you know. She does, I mean.
She?
Lucy.
Ah.
And there is the loveliest little kitchen.
Galley, my dear.
Oh, of course, galley. You will not believe this, but I really am a very good sailor.
I do believe you.
Do you think we shall be able to sail in her all the year round?
Hardly. At least we shall have to winter in our cottage.
Yes, the cottage. Tell me about the cottage, Jack.
Ah, you shall see it for yourself very soon. White walls, thatch, little windows under the eaves, and central heating.
Marvellous!
And scarcely a soul within hail.
Whereabouts is it, Jack?
You'll see.
Tell me.
That's enough, my girl. You're sailing under sealed orders. Just leave everything to the navigator.
What an old tease you are.
Don't come into the station with me, my dear. I hate railway station goodbyes. In any case, you're seeing me off on the train to London tomorrow. Mustn't overdo it.
Oh, very well, Jack. Thank you for another perfect day.
Oh.
Once I see you off tomorrow, of course, it may be some time before I see you sailing upriver and inviting me aboard. How long will it take, do you think?
Well, I haven't had time to sit down with my charts yet. I shall probably do that on the train.
Do you have those lovely little spiky things that you walk across the chart with?
Oh, of course.
I knew you would.
Good night, old girl.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
That I shall say good night until tomorrow.
Oh, Jack. Oh, your train. Hurry.
Good night. Good night.
And now, Commander Jack Trelawney. Keys. Ah, here. We'll find out just where this snug little berth of your absent shipmates is, where your lonely hammock is temporarily slung. I imagine this little number will outpace the old stopping train any time.
Number 8, the Turnills. Bit run down. Wonder how long old Mr. Cambridge has had his financial woes.
Oh, how do you do?
Oh, good afternoon, young lady. Do some people called Cambridge live in this house?
Yes, they do.
I should rather like to speak to them. To Miss Cambridge, that is.
I'm Miss Cambridge.
No, Miss Evelyn Cambridge, I mean.
But that is me. I'm Evelyn. What's your name, please?
Well, fancy that. No, I'm afraid I haven't made myself very clear. My name is Commander Trelawney, and I wish to speak to the other Miss Cambridge, the lady who is the daughter of old Mr. Cambridge.
I don't think Grandad had a daughter called Evelyn, but I'll ask Daddy if you like.
Daddy?
Yes, he's called Mr. Cambridge as well.
Ah, well, perhaps if I were to have a word with him.
I'm sorry, I should have asked you to come in, shouldn't I?
That is most kind of you, my dear.
Daddy?
Yes, Evelyn?
There's a gentleman here looking for Mr. Cambridge.
Oh, do come in.
Thank you.
You do. My name is Cambridge.
His name is Commander Trelawney.
Ah, won't you sit down?
I'm glad to see you're, Out of hospital again?
Hospital?
Haven't you been in hospital?
Well, not for some years, no.
Oh. I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood. Anyway, you're looking very fit. I'm glad.
Well, thank you.
Coping with, well, bankruptcy proceedings can be very distressing, I imagine.
Bankruptcy proceedings?
I've come about the boat.
Oh, but I don't think we want a boat. I'll ask my wife if you like.
I am not selling boats. I am here to buy yours, on behalf of its original owner.
A boat? You're sure you don't mean a cello?
A cello?
Well, Edwin can't really manage it now. And Estella's got her hands full with the harp at the moment. I don't like to see it go, but I'm sure that...
I think you'd better read this letter.
Letter? Oh, thank you. Ah, yes, but this is addressed to Evelyn.
I'm Evelyn.
Read it.
Very well. Dear Evelyn, I'd like you to introduce my good friend, Commander Trelawney. The cheque for £500, make it a sum nearer the true value of the Lucy. He's going to sail the Lucy here himself. Oh, there's obviously been some misunderstanding, Mr. Trelawney. To me, this letter's quite incomprehensible. I'm awfully sorry.
I see. Then you don't know this woman, this Lucilla Edith Cavell Teatime.
I've never even heard of her.
Very well, very well.
Mr. Commander...
So you haven't been in hospital?
No.
And you aren't threatened with bankruptcy proceedings?
I certainly hope not.
Excuse me?
And you don't have a boat? A 40-footer sleeps 4 called the Lucy?
No, really, no.
Then...
Excuse me?
Good afternoon!
Oh, dear. Evelyn?
Yes, Daddy?
Do you happen to know a lady called Lucilla Edith Cavell Teatime?
Yes, Daddy. I was trying to tell him.
And who is she?
I don't know who she is, but I can tell you where she used to live.
All right.
3 doors up on the other side. She was very nice.
But is she there now?
Not now. She went away. She said she was going to get married to Mr. Jackman, who has the jewellers next to the paper shop at the top.
Oh, I see.
But I don't think she ever did.
Good morning. It's Miss Teatime, isn't it?
That's right. Mr. Beach, am I right?
Quite right. Now, what can I do for you, Miss Teatime?
I should like to cash this cheque, please.
£497.18 6.
Well, I thought I'd better leave a little in to keep the account open.
You do mean to draw this on your joint account, the one you opened with Mr...
Trelawney.
That's right, Mr. Trelawney, the day before yesterday.
I do, yes.
I'm sorry, just one moment. You are aware, I expect, that a customer with a bank account may not take out more money than there is credited to that account?
Mr. Beach, I do not see any need for irony. It is pure coincidence that matters in connection with our business, Mr. Trelawney's and mine, have arisen which necessitate this withdrawal so soon after the money was deposited. But after all, it is our money, Mr. Beach, and...
how much did you suppose this account contained?
£505. Oh, less 10 shillings for the chequebooks, I suppose.
I regret to say that you are under some misapprehension, Miss Teatime. Deducting the chequebook charges at 10 shillings, as you say, there remains the original deposit. Exactly £4, 10 shillings.
But Mr. Trelawney called yesterday to transfer £500 from his personal account into this one.
Well, if that was his intention, I'm afraid something must have prevented his coming in.
Dear me.
Oh, you mustn't worry about it, Miss Teatime. We are quite used to these small misunderstandings. They happen, you know, they happen even in the best regulated circles, I assure you.
Well...
The bank is not embarrassed. We are aware how busy people are nowadays and how easily things slip their memories.
Well...
In all probability, Mr. Trelawney will be calling in sometime today, and then we can...
Well, all I can say about Mr. Trelawney is that he has a pretty piss-boiling way of going about things.
Lonelyheart 4122 by Colin Watson, dramatised for radio in 6 parts by Christopher Dennis. John Rowe played Inspector Purbright, Linda Gardner, Miss Teatime, and John Branwell, Commander Trelawney. Geoffrey Banks was the Chief Constable, Peter Rylands, Maddox, Susan Sheridan, Evelyn, Nigel Carrington, Cambridge, Rennie Krupinski, Leaper, and Richard Cole, Mr. Beach. Lonelyheart 4122 was produced by Tony Cliff.
Assume the Chief Constable is being ribbed at the Rotary or the dog fanciers, but he's become distinctly sarcastic about our lack of progress in running this latter-day Bluebeard to earth.
Hardly fair, Governor. We're doing our best.
It may be hardly fair, but it happens to be true. I've never been this long on a case and still felt so ignorant of what or who I'm looking for, or even where, for that matter. We still haven't found that cottage.
Inspector Purbright.
What is it?
Well, there's that woman from Derby out here wanting to see you straight away. I told her you were busy, but she keeps saying, tell him it's about catching a crab. I think she's a bit dotty, if you ask me. Shall I get rid of her?
No, you shall not. If there's one thing I want to hear about, it's catching a crab. In any case, we've enough ladies being got rid of at the moment. Miss Huddleston, come in, please.
Inspector, it suddenly hit me.
Yes.
I was in the middle of weeding. I was going to write you, then I was going to ring. I was in such a dither of excitement. I just left everything and ran to catch the train. I just ran all the way from the station here as well.
Now sit down and get your breath.
Thank you.
Get Miss Huddleston a cup of tea, please, Mr. Pook.
Yes, sir.
Now then, catch a crab. You've solved it?
Came to me in a flash. You said to keep my mind working on it, and I have, and then, just when I was thinking of something else, there it was.
Often the way.
Honestly, I'm so stupid. It should have hit me straight off.
Tell me.
Well, when we were children, Martha and me, and both living in Charmsbury, we went for walks a lot and often brought back fruit and things for our mothers to make jam. Well, there was a cottage not far from my home, out towards Benston Ferry, and it had a big garden with fruit trees. An old lady lived in it then, and we noticed that she didn't pick the fruit much, so one day we knocked and asked if we could take some apples. She said, oh, they're just crabs, you know. So we said we wouldn't bother. Actually, we thought she must be funny in the head. And when I got home, I told my mother this funny old woman had made out that she had crabs in her garden, just as if it was the seaside. And, of course, Mother said, don't be so silly. She meant crab apples, and they're very good for making jelly. So back we both went, Martha and me, and got some, and the next year as well, and often had a good laugh over getting that idea about crabs. Of course, Martha would remember it straight away, and when this man took her to see it, it was called Brookside Cottage, and the last time I saw it, it had been done up a good deal. It had a garage and that sort of thing. It stands on its own at the end of a lane, Mill Lane, I think we used to call it, about 2 miles out of Charmsbury on the Benstone Road. There now. That's a help, isn't it? I do hope it is.
Of course it is.
Just the sort of break we needed.
And will it help you to find poor Martha, or whether she's...
It's the best bit of information we've had on this case so far. Now, presumably it's for sale, or has just been for sale, and that's why the man was able to use it. Now, let's have a look on the Ordnance Survey. Ha! There we are, Miss Huddleston. That must be Mill Lane.
That's it. And there's the cottage.
Right, Sid.
Yes, Governor?
I want you to start ringing around the estate agents straight away. Start with the ones in Charmsbury, and then on to the Flax ones, if you've no luck there. You'll have to get a shift on. It's going on 4 now. I reckon those chaps knock off about 5:30. As soon as we find out which one's handling it, we need to get a list with descriptions of anybody who's been to view the place in the past 2 months.
Right, Governor.
Miss Huddleston, I'm very grateful to you.
Not at all. Not at all. I just hope it prevents some other poor woman going the same way as... Well, it looks as if poor Martha's gone.
Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Handclasp House. Oh, why, it's Miss Teatime, isn't it?
That is correct, Mrs. Staunch. I do hope you don't mind me dropping in out of the blue to see you like this.
Not at all. What can I do for you?
Well, I felt I ought to tell you that as a result of registering with you to find, well, a companion, a gentleman has been in touch with me.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear that, Miss Teatime. So nice of you to drop in and tell me. We do our best to please, you know.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you haven't.
We haven't?
Not on this occasion.
Oh.
Of course, I hope there will be more than just one approach made to me, having paid you 20 guineas. But I hope that the others will be more suitable.
This one wasn't suitable?
Not at all.
Oh.
I really hate to complain or to be thought a difficult customer, but, well, oh dear me, no.
Oh, dear.
I assume you or your husband between you make the matches, as it were.
That is correct.
Though I also assume that you never meet the gentleman. I mean, your husband interviews them, doesn't he?
Well, yes, but we work very closely together, of course.
Well, I wonder if you could tell your husband that I should like someone much more, how can I put it? More gentle.
Gentle.
Less hearty. Less abrasive.
I see.
Yes. You see, I'm a very quiet, simple person and not at all worldly or sophisticated. I should like to meet someone like that. A man who has preserved through the buffetings and disenchantments of life a natural innocence. I don't mean a fool, mind you, though I've never laid any great store by intelligence in others, but a nice person who thinks well of people.
You don't mean gullible, surely?
I really don't mind on that score, being such a simple person myself.
Well, I'll discuss the matter with my husband, and we'll try to come up with a few gentlemen more to your liking.
Come in.
Inspector.
Hmm?
There's another woman wanting to see you.
Must be my lucky day.
Pardon, sir?
Never mind. What's her name?
Well, it's that Miss Teatime, sir.
Well, don't keep her waiting outside, man. Show her in.
This way, please, Miss Teatime.
Miss Teatime, what a pleasant surprise. Will you have some, well, tea?
No, thank you, Inspector. I really am in a fearful hurry.
Thank you, Mr. Pook.
I just wanted a moment of your time. No more.
Well, then.
I have given some further thought, Mr. Purbright, to the matter we discussed the other morning, and I have decided that I might have been just the tiniest bit overconfident in one respect. And so, for the sake of everyone concerned, my friend by no means least, I intend to try and give you an actual example of his writing.
I see.
It will be best, do you not think so?
I'm sure it will.
Do you know, I really think you are anxious about me, Mr. Purbright.
Well, I am.
There is no need to be.
Look, won't you tell me now the name of this man?
I'm sorry, but I must ask you to wait a little longer. Where can I reach you at 8 o'clock this evening?
At 8 o'clock? At home, I hope. Why?
What is the address?
15 Tetford Drive.
15 Tetford Drive. Thank you. And now, may I borrow that photograph? The one of the suspect's handwriting, you know?
Oh, yes, of course. Here you are.
Thank you so much.
I hope you know what you're doing, Miss Teatime.
Oh, yes, I know very well.
Good evening, Mr. Linz. You're early. Finished writing your newspaper already, have you?
Nothing to write, Jim. I'll have a large one.
You'll have it with me.
Oh, that's very kind of you. No, they say no news is good news, but it's disaster for the likes of me. If I can't find interesting things to print, then the people don't buy papers. If people don't buy the paper, the advertisers don't buy the space, and then I shall be looking for another job. Cheers.
Good health. And cheer up. Something's bound to happen. Nice juicy murder's what you need. Nothing new on these missing women, I suppose?
Nothing. Police are no further forward. Here, you don't think that...
What?
You don't think that woman that's staying here, your Miss... think of it...
Miss Teatime?
Yeah. You don't think old Purbright's interest in her has anything to do with that case, do you?
No. Oh, no.
Wonder what they're after her for, then. Did she pay her bill up to date?
No, no. You don't press people like that for money, George.
People like what?
Well, I don't know as I should tell you. You being editor of a newspaper and always on the lookout for gossip and celebrities and that.
Oh, have I ever betrayed her confidence?
Well,
I mean, when you told me that Alderman Bates's new wife had once been a bunny girl, did I betray your confidence?
You were round there quick enough to interview her, and with a photographer.
Just doing my job. But I never let on it was you who told me, did I?
Not in so many words.
Oh, come on then. What's the lowdown on this one?
Well, you've heard of Teatime Engineering?
No.
What? You've never heard of Teatime Engineering?
Of course I have. Must have done. It just slipped my mind, that's all.
Well, that's her. She is Teatime Engineering.
Get away.
True as I'm standing here. The police aren't following her. They're bodyguarding her.
Fancy.
Worth all that money, you see.
Hey, talk of the devil, here she comes.
Ah, good evening, Miss Teatime.
Good evening, Mr. Maddox.
Can I get you anything?
Well, now, I never know the names of things. I wouldn't say no to the same as this gentleman has. It looks very nice, I must say.
But that's...
Are you quite sure, Miss Teatime?
Yes, it looks most refreshing.
One large whisky coming up. You'll have it with me, I trust.
Thank you. Most kind. Mr. Maddox, I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation with Mr...
This is Mr. Lintz.
George.
Editor of the Flaxborough Citizen.
Ah, I'm a keen reader of yours.
Really?
Oh, yes, cover to cover. Oh. Mr. Maddox, I'd like a word in private with you, if Mr. Lintz will excuse us for a moment.
By all means, Miss Teatime.
Oh, you know my name?
I'm going to sit down anyway. Been on my feet all day.
Oh. Now, Mr. Maddox, I wonder if I can trouble you to do something for me.
Oh, of course, Miss Teatime.
Well, I had intended to do this myself, but I have another engagement and I may not be back in time. It's this envelope. If I'm not back by 8 o'clock this evening, would you mind popping it round to Inspector Purbright's house? The address is on the envelope.
I should be delighted.
You really are so kind. Cheers.
Your very good health.
Ah.
Miss Teatime.
8 o'clock. You won't forget.
You can rely on me, Miss Teatime.
Au revoir.
Yes. Good evening.
Blimey.
See that?
Strangers in one.
Never even touched the sides.
I have a feeling there's more to your Miss Teatime than you know.
That's the last of them, Governor. I've phoned every flippin' estate agent in Chalmsbury, Flaxborough and districts, and all I've got for it is a sore throat. Snooty lot, most of them and all. If Brookside Cottage is for sale, nobody in the property trade seems to know about it.
No, well, we had to check.
Would you like me to walk out to Benston and ask at the cottage?
Oh, not now, Sid. Leave it till morning.
Right.
I'll tell you what you can do, though. Give the country boys a ring at Chalmsbury and see if old Larch is in a good enough mood to get you the name of the occupants. It'll save you asking at the door when you go. You'd better say it's for me.
Yes, I'd better add. Right grumpy old beggar he is. Treats anything less than a superintendent as if it was a slug on his lettuces. And that's the way he treats the public. Well, he... Oh, hello? Chalmsbury Police Station? Could I speak to Inspector Larch, please? Honestly, I hate talking to him.
So did I, Sid. That's why I have a detective sergeant to assist me.
Inspector Larch? It's Detective Sergeant Love here at Flaxborough. I'm phoning on behalf of Inspector Purbright. He was wondering if you could inform us of the name of the present occupants of Brookside Cottage, at Mill Lane. It's out by Benstone Ferry. Yes, I realise that. No, I'm sure you must be. Yes, we can find out ourselves. It's just that... right, sir. Thank you. Yes. I'm sure Inspector Purbright would be very grateful if you could do that, sir. Thank you very much. Hello? Much.
What did he say?
Says he's up to his eyebrows in work. Except he didn't say eyebrows. And do we think he's nothing else to do other than run round making inquiries for us? Makes it sound as if there's a regular crime wave raging in Chalmsbury.
You probably interrupted him reading an article in the Shooting Times. Thinks of nothing else. I mean, pigeon fanciers I can understand, but he's a clay pigeon fancier.
Anyway, He says he'll do his best and phone back in a couple of hours.
Well, I'd better report the day's findings to the Chief Constable, and then we can wrap it up for the night. You never know. That Miss Teatime might come up with something.
Who's it?
It is I, Commander. Lucy. Good evening.
Well, well. Come alongside, shipmate. So you found my little surprise cottage in the country all by yourself. I found your surprise, too.
I think we had better go inside, Mr. Trelawney.
I think we had.
Well, at least you've solved the catch a crab mystery, Mr. Purbright. Or rather, this woman from Derby solved it for you. Brookside Cottage. It doesn't seem to be on the market, you say?
Not as far as we can find out, sir. It may well be that this man was passing that way, saw it, thought it would serve his purpose, and just decided to make use of it without the owner's knowing. In Miss Reckitt's letter, she said that they were only able to view it from a distance, as the people were still living in it.
That's simply dreadful, what some people will do. I mean, strangers home, no respect for property at all.
Well, not much respect for life either, sir.
No, I suppose not.
I don't suppose Deirdre or Felicity, whichever one of them is presently chewing on my calf, could possibly be persuaded to try their rubber bone instead, sir?
Benson Basket! Really, Purbright, can't tell a dog from a bitch now.
As a preliminary to our discussion...
Oh, it's to be a discussion, is it? How nice. Will you begin, or shall I?
Please don't be childish. I was saying that as a preliminary, I should like to ask you not to use any more of those jolly Jack Tar expressions. I have suffered a number of courtships in my life, but never before one which has made me seasick.
You'll have something worse than seasickness to worry about before I finish with you, woman.
Threats will serve the interest of neither of us. They are ill-mannered and unbusinesslike.
I suppose that as a professional swindler, you're all for the smooth approach.
There you go again, Mr. Trelawney. Abuse will get us nowhere.
What did you come here for?
For compensation, Mr. Trelawney. I do not consider that I have been fairly treated.
You don't consider...
No, please let me finish. Your intention was to acquire a valuable motorboat by handing to a distressed family a cheque which you knew to be worthless. It was a very shabby design, which was thwarted thanks only to my having invented both the boat and the family's distress. Thus, your gain was an easy conscience, and it was I who accomplished it.
But what did I get in return?
No one can compute the worth of an easy conscience. It is a priceless commodity. And so when I decided to draw a fee that would little more than cover my expenses, it hurt rather than embarrass me to find that you had lied about putting £500 at my disposal. For that hurt, I believe I am fully entitled to recompense, and if you will now be good enough to write me a cheque, a genuine cheque this time, for £500, I shall be much obliged, Mr. Trelawney.
All right. Joke over. Now, just what is it you think you're up to?
This is not a joke, Mr. Trelawney. I have told you quite simply what I require.
Do you mean to say that you have the bloody neck to come out here and try and drag money out of me after what's happened?
I do.
You know what you are, don't you? You're a prissy-mouthed, four-eyed, chiselling bitch, and you can go to hell.
If you really feel that we have arrived at the exchange of compliments stage, I can only assure you that the choice between an hour of your company, Mr. Trelawney, and being sown for a week in a sack of discarded boil dressings would be by no means easy to make.
Cow!
I advise you not to waste further time on thinking up expletives. You lack the talent. If you will write me out that cheque at once, a great deal of trouble will be avoided. For you in particular.
Go on. This trouble. Tell me.
I happen to know, although I claim no personal credit for this, that you have already successfully imposed on the credulity of at least 2 other women. I know their names. One was called Reckitt, the other Bannister. And I know that the police are looking for the man who engineered their disappearance. For you, in fact.
Go on.
Now, here is the amusing thing. The only reason why you have not been arrested is that I have personally vouched for your integrity. There now. What do you think of that?
What the hell do you mean?
Oh, dear, you are so curmudgeonly.
What did you tell them?
That you are a bluff and honest sea-dog, of course. A sincere suitor. A gentleman whose handwriting bears not the faintest resemblance to that of the villain, whose letters to poor Mrs. Bannister have been discovered by the police.
In other words, you thought you'd set up a nice little line in blackmail.
Your moral judgments are as odious as your maritime metaphors. Kindly keep both to yourself.
I don't believe this nonsense about letters.
Here you are, then. See for yourself. A police photograph of one of the letters.
You say you've told him this isn't my handwriting?
Emphatically.
And that Commander Jack Trelawney's a fine chap who wouldn't hurt a fly?
By a great effort of will, yes.
So, I am not suspected of the awful crimes which the police imagine have been committed?
No.
Ah.
Oh, dear. You are so woefully transparent, Jackie boy.
Am I?
You are saying to yourself, knock this lady off as well, and all will be hunky-dory.
Does seem a damn good idea.
What of this other lady? The one who refuses to be followed. You say she's not so sure now about the handwriting?
No, sir. She's a remarkable woman. Can't quite make her out, but it wouldn't surprise me if she came up with something.
Come in!
It's from Inspector Purbright, sir. Mr. Maddox is here with a message for you, Governor.
Sir, do you mind if I...
No, not at all. Ask Mr. Maddox to come in here, Sergeant Love.
This way, Mr. Maddox.
Good evening, Inspector. Mr. Chubb.
Maddox.
Thanks, Ed.
Inspector, a guest of mine, Miss Teatime of Teatime Engineering, you know. You met her the other day, I believe.
Yes, I know Miss Teatime.
Well, she asked me to give you this, Inspector, if she wasn't back at the hotel by 8 o'clock.
Thank you very much.
A bit premature, aren't you, Maddox? My watch says 7:15.
Well, I suddenly remembered I wouldn't be able to deliver the envelope after 8 o'clock because I've a function on. So I thought I'd better play safe and fetch it round here for him before he left.
Oh, curious, Inspector.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Maddox.
Well, good night, you.
Good night, Chief Constable.
Well, Mr. Purbright?
Well, indeed, sir. My dear Inspector Purbright, the enclosed letters unexpectedly came to hand today. They were written by my friend who calls himself Commander John Trelawney. You will see that I was mistaken about the handwriting. I can plead only that loyalty clouded my judgment. His address is not known to me at the moment, but I have no doubt that Mrs. Staunch will be able to give you the information you need. As you will notice, the reference number is 4122. Yours sincerely, Lucilla Teatime.
Goodness. And is the handwriting the same?
It certainly is.
So that means that this Trelawney fella is the man you're after?
Apparently. So,
all you have to do is go round to the marriage bureau, get hold of this Staunch woman, and find out the address of this 4122 fella. You don't seem very excited about it.
It isn't quite as simple as that, sir. You see, all the numbers at the bureau have 3 digits. Odd numbers for the women, evens for the men. This has 4 digits. It certainly won't be in the files.
I really don't think that killing me would be such a good idea, you know.
Oh, yes. Damn good idea. In fact, I'm sold on it.
No, I do not think you are, really. Already there has crept into that incommodious mind the realization that I should never have been fool enough to come here without taking some precautions.
Oh? And what precautions?
It is in the form of a time limit. If I am not back at my hotel by 8 o'clock, the police at Flaxborough will receive a packet containing your letters.
And my name and address, no doubt.
No, just the means of learning them with singularly little trouble.
How little?
Simply a peep into the files of that excellent matrimonial bureau, Jack dear. Or should I say, Mr. 4122? You find that amusing? I really don't think...
Come in, my dear, come in.
Mrs. Staunch.
Surely you didn't imagine that my husband's name would be on the files, Miss Teatime.
You don't look so cocksure of yourself now, do you?
But it isn't a 4122. I think a burglar must have lifted it.
Her car. Get it out of sight somewhere. And come straight back. I want you to stay with her while I, see to things.
Quick as you can, Sid.
Where are we going, Governor?
Benstone Ferry, the cottage. Brookside Cottage.
I'm going there in the morning.
We're going there tonight.
Well, what's the rush?
Large finally saw fit to phone back. I now know who the owner of Brookside Cottage is.
You really are both being very silly, you know, Mrs. Staunch. Or is it Mrs. Trelawney? Both you and your jolly Jack Tar husband. You can't possibly get away with this.
I don't see why we shouldn't, Miss Teatime. And whether we do or not, you won't know anything about it, will you?
Right, so I'm ready. Come on, you.
I feel, perhaps, that I ought to warn you that...
You don't warn me of anything, lady. You've been more than enough trouble to me already. You just shut your mouth and come with me.
Oh, dear, so cold.
Come on!
Will you please take your hands off me?
Get up there. Go on. Shut the doors after me, will you? Don't want the light spilling out.
All right, Don.
Mrs. Staunch! Mrs. Staunch!
Oh, my God! Who is it?
It's the police! Open up at once, please!
What on earth?
Now then, Mrs. Staunch.
Inspector Purbright, what is the meaning of this?
Where is Miss Teatime?
Miss who?
Your client, Miss Teatime. I have reason to believe she came here to see your husband.
Why on earth should she want to see my husband? He has nothing whatever
Is
to
he
do...
in, Mrs. Staunch?
Not at the moment, no.
Both cars are in the garage, Guff.
Well, Mrs. Staunch?
I think he's gone to post a letter. But I'm not going to stand here and have questions fired at me without knowing the reason for them. What authority have you got to come trampling your way in here anyway?
We suspect a felony, Mrs. Staunch.
Oh.
That may be a somewhat stuffy answer, but it will have to serve, at least until your husband returns, which I trust will not be long. How far away is the post-box?
At the end of the lane.
Odd that we didn't see him.
There's a path from the back. It's quicker.
I might as well tell you now that we shall probably ask your husband to return to Flaxborough with us.
What on earth for?
We think he may be able to help us with our inquiries.
You don't have to use that jargon with me, Inspector. That just means that you think he's done something. What, though? Why can't you say? And for God's sake, what's all this about that Teatime woman?
If, as you say, she has not been here, you have no need to worry on her account, Mrs. Staunch.
Yes, but why did you...
Shh! Somebody's coming from the back, Governor. Through the kitchen.
John, there are 2 policemen here asking a lot of silly questions. We're in the lounge. I wish you'd come and tell them that...
Good evening again, Mrs. Staunch.
Ow! Ow!
Well, I don't usually have that effect on people. Good evening, Inspector. How nice to see you.
Where's Don? Where's my husband? Damn you, you bitch! Where's Don?
Hold her, Sid. Now then, Mrs. Staunch, you just sit there.
I'm afraid he's in that cesspool thing down the garden.
Oh.
I really am very sorry, but it was his idea entirely to go waltzing about in the dark with his arms round my waist. The cover was off, you know. Really, Inspector, I bloody nearly fell in myself.
In Lonelyheart 4122 by Colin Watson, dramatised for radio by Christopher Dennis, John Rowe played Inspector Purbright and Linda Gardner Lucy Teatime. John Branwell was Trelawney, Anne Rye Mrs. Staunch, Daphne Oxenford Miss Huddlestone, and Geoffrey Banks the Chief Constable. Peter Rylands was Maddox and Nigel Carrington was Linz. Lonelyheart 4122 was produced in Manchester by Tony Cliff.